Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Weekly Games Chat. I'm your host, Chris. As always, joined by my co-host, Sean.
What's up, y'all?
What's that? Get that.
It's my new thing, getting ready for 200. No? I need to ditch that.
Yeah.
Huh? Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You are not, you're not Barry White.
What's
you're
up,
not,
y'all?
You're not
How's
Luther
pod-
Vandross.
How's your podcast ears doing?
And John.
True?
True.
That's so funny. We were talking before the show some quotable lines from Friday Night Lights, the movie, not the series.
Nope.
No?
Varsity Blues.
Varsity Blues. Negative for Sean for saying the wrong movie. Mm-hmm. Boo. Varsity Blues.
Varsity Blues.
So you probably you said top 10 movie. So you probably meant Friday Night Lights.
I've never seen Friday Night Lights, which is funny.
Oh, man.
I just had a misspoke situation.
I saw it, but I don't remember it that well.
Was that the one with Tim McGraw?
Yeah.
Did
That's
nice.
good. And,
Billy Bob Thornton.
Boo.
If you want a really good sports TV show or like and also high school drama show, the TV adaptation with Kyle Chandler is really, really good.
He's nobody knows a Kyle
He's
Chandler.
the one that George Strait told him to get his ass out of here.
Yes, that is true.
From Pure Country.
In Pure Country.
Gone.
That's where he started.
Get your ass out. Oh.
Well, at least that's at the 1 minute and 30 seconds.
How did I mute the wrong letters?
They're going to really
I
be.
think-
I'm just going to cut out the first minute and a half so I don't have to ever
Redo.
Just so you know, one of us will be reading this. So be careful not to read the A word from the show notes.
Why would you do that?
It's a direct quote.
Why can't we say the A word?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I just do what
I
I'm
think
told.
I think we can say the A word.
I just do what I'm
Oh,
told.
what? You're like near 200, so you're like, now we push boundaries.
There you go.
Let me.
True?
F-bomb.
True.
So what's been going on?
Throwing games. That was my weekend.
What?
Throwing games.
Throwing games.
What's
he talking about?
Game of Thrones.
Boo.
I call it the throw.
Yeah.
Why would he say it like that? Boo.
It's a play on words.
I know it is.
Yeah.
Because, you know.
Throwing game.
Speaking of that, you might going to give me their HBO login, huh?
No,
You're not going to give me your HBO login?
I don't have one.
You don't have $15? You're a DJ.
No, I don't want to do that.
Is it $15 a month for now?
It's I believe so.
Yeah.
At most, it's like 19, which is why I tell people when they're like, I haven't been able to. I don't have HBO. I'm like, if you want to watch the series,
Yeah.
all you gotta do is pay for a month.
You know, it's funny. So
No, it's 2 months because there's 6 episodes.
people
6 or 8
rightfully
episodes.
True.
people rightfully complain about the high cost of cable news, not cable news, cable
Television, John.
cable television.
You're welcome.
All
like,
HBO's fault.
It's like what's a package
ESPN.
now? It's could be $80 a month sometimes.
Yeah,
but
but
when
you're
you
getting-
take everything together that you have, Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, Xbox Games Pass, all this stuff is all an amalgamation of what you were paying.
But
For cable in the first place,
But-
HBO Go, everything is like $9.99 a month or more.
See, here's
And
the
it's
thing.
just like it's a little bit funny. This feeling inside,
Yeah.
it's a little bit funny that
sorry, Eldon.
it's still we're spending the same amount of money, even though we are kind of a
I think there's a difference.
boutique item where we're kind of selectively,
Exactly.
know
You
inserting
get, to,
what
you
we
get to
want.
pick what you want.
Yeah.
You get to watch it whenever you want. And most importantly, the price doesn't just jump on you after a year astronomically.
I said all of that, just fewer
Yeah,
words.
yeah.
But one of the
I think
things,
that's the big reason.
there's a lot of people in this, especially in this day and age, that want to cut the cord from cable. You know what I mean? It's a thing. It has kind of been a thing because of the things you mentioned, the Netflix of the world and what have you. And I was listening to a Sirius XM radio show called Barstool Radio, and the host made a really funny. He made a suggestion. He says people love having the clicker. They love having their remote to click through the channels, and then whenever you find what you want, you stop. He said if Netflix ever has just a shuffle function where you're just clicking through and then something pops up, on a Saturday, and you find that one series you want,
I want to say
game over because you have a clicker in your hand and you have the power of Netflix.
You know why they call it a clicker?
Why?
Because in the 1950s and
clicked.
60s, it actually
clicked.
did click. It
Yeah.
only had one function: click on, click
Click
off.
off.
Is that
had no volume?
Is that a fun fact?
That is a fun fact.
Love them.
Did you have a good time with that fact?
I did. It was fun.
Did that fact show you a good time?
It was
Now,
fun.
I do want to say the Roku, if you get Roku with Switch, I want to say you can actually change the channels through the Roku remote. Like, you don't have to, which is a nice plus for it.
Roku with the Switch?
Or, I'm sorry, not Switch. What's it called?
Television?
Stitcher? Or not Stitcher. Not Stitcher. What is it
What
called?
are you doing?
Sling. Sorry.
Sling TV.
Sling.
Well, I started the show off
was
by
like,
calling
it's an
the
S
movie
word.
that I knew was Varsity Blues Friday Night Lights, and now Chris is having an aneurysm.
Yep.
So you're next.
I'm fine. I'm going to be top notch for our audience.
Notch
Top notch.
on $1.99.
Oh, you want to hear another fun fact?
I do.
I think I mentioned this to Chris, and Chris would probably say, Jonathan, you're obsessing over this a little bit too
Or he
much.
says,
We
right.
now have a 4.5 rating
on what?
on iTunes.
Yeah.
That's top. No, I mean that's just iTunes.
No,
right?
we've
all
had
John's
a
fault.
we've had a 5
Forever.
forever.
But it's because we got more ratings now. And guess what? When
that shouldn't happen.
Whenever
though, Chris.
whenever that guy on this podcast runs his mouth, we get letters and people stop listening and stuff like that. So
yeah, that's funny. They're
I
like,
don't think that's
you
what
should
happens.
find who that is.
No, literally it is. It's like there's 2 people. The reason why it dropped is like the latest 2 reviews are people complaining about John for the union thing. And I was just like, well, what are you going to do?
Well, you can do a rating
Yeah.
without writing a review. So I've got to assume that there's some
Maybe,
ratings out
yeah.
there that have dipped it too. So
that's a good
just
assumption.
Just a call out there to our audience. Get us back up to 5.
It's too late.
I want it.
It's been tainted. We'll never be at 5 again.
Yeah.
John.
It's
too
all
late.
your fault.
You did it.
We'd like to announce John's leaving the show.
Yeah.
Please change your rating.
Effective immediately.
Back to 5.
Right?
That's
Gee,
awesome.
We're at 6 now. What?
You had already seen it, but I did see Shazam's.
Yeah, I hear you got the wrong opinion on it.
Oh no.
No, because what he means by that, audience, is Chris's opinion that lines up with the
Actually,
consensus.
It's
Yeah, the
like with everyone,
consensus.
yeah. Like
Yeah.
the audience, like BK saw it. BK loved it.
you know what? BK doesn't make me go, oh, since BK said it, it must be true.
BK certified.
BK certified.
You're the only one of my friends who I've heard their opinion on, and it was negative. That's the way to say it, and that's fine. I totally am fine.
I went in with very low expectations, and
Well, your negative outlook on the film that you saw
Mm-hmm.
is maybe partnered with the idea that I'm just not gravitating towards this movie. I haven't seen it yet,
yeah.
and I think it's one of those movies I might skip if nobody says, "Hey, you want to go see this movie?" or Aiden tells me, "Hey, I want to see this movie."
The superhero-ness of the movie shot phenomenally.
yes,
Like the things superheroes do, the flying, the bullets,
Throw Batman figures at
just even the call-ins that make you go, oh, this is a world where Batman is real and Superman is real.
Yeah.
yes.
Like Shazam is in that world or whatever. The idea of where Shazam comes from, phenomenal. But the movie just missed for me on connecting on some levels. I don't know why.
Yeah. See, that's why I thought they did the best.
Yeah.
Like mainly with the family, right?
Yeah.
I thought
Now-
I love the foster dad. He's great.
The foster family in general, yeah, excellent.
Yeah.
But something was off. I was trashing it. I was being a little harsh last night, kind of trying to
Oh, that was last night. Wasn't it?
incite Chris to kind of fire back at me, but he didn't. He held back because he wanted to maybe say something.
You were
today.
trying
No,
to provoke.
I'm one of those people. Look, some people, there are plenty of movies that people enjoy that I do not like. So, like there are people out there.
Name
I think, for instance, Transformers. John loves that or really approves of the very first Transformers movie.
No, I love it.
I came out of that movie and the first time I was like, wow, that was really good. And then I went back and watched it and I completely changed my opinion.
Then the reviews dropped.
And then no, the reviews were, yeah.
Gotta step back.
But well, you're the one
I
who's
can't like this
quoting
movie.
reviews.
People don't like this movie. I can't like it.
But like there are plenty of things like the Fast and the Furious movies. I know those movies make a ton of money every time.
Billions.
Personally, there's like nothing in those movies for me that I care about.
You don't like cars.
Well, they're not really about cars anymore.
You
now,
also
are they?
didn't like people named Dom and Brian when you grew up.
Look, I live my life a quarter mile at a time, and I care about my family.
That's a good reference to the movie.
See?
John.
Yeah.
Right?
I've actually not seen most of them. I've seen
Yeah.
the first one. I've
Yeah.
seen
The only one I haven't
I've seen
seen
the
is
first
Tokyo Drift. That's the only one I haven't seen.
Or even like the MCU. There are people that are so hype about that. And I think, John, both of you probably would agree with this. I'm much more on the tempered side of fandom for that. Like, I don't hate them, but...
Yeah, you're a snooty intellectual.
I don't like that he said tempered and then fandom within like the next two
But on the other
words.
hand, I love a bunch of like... I love a bunch of like core dramatic movies and things like that,
and
I get,
musicals.
like,
Let's not forget musicals.
Yeah.
Have
Sure.
you bought tickets?
animated movies.
Have you bought tickets to Avengers?
I have.
Well, I haven't.
Okay.
What does that mean?
Yeah, but you don't
So
go.
I'm-
You don't go opening
The
night.
tempered fandom.
Oh, he's already.
Oh, I'm not gonna. Don't get it wrong. I'm not gonna let it be spoiled for me. I will go opening night and make sure.
Well, I'd
that
like to go opening
Did
night,
you-
but I heard that AMC's website was
Crashed, yeah.
It was fine later.
Did
that
you
night.
hear this fun fact today that one of the directors, one of the dudes,
Yeah,
says no one has guessed correctly on the ending.
I'm sure.
Out of all the theories out there, he says not a soul.
you know the.
not even the Ant-Man
Right?
You know it's funny.
booty hole.
Right?
You know it's funny. Kit Harington from Game of Thrones has been like making the rounds because Game of Thrones
Yeah.
comes back Sunday, and he's. I think Jimmy Fallon or one of them asked him, and he said like I've probably had 2,000 people come up to me and pitch what they think is going to happen,
And none of them.
And he said no one has gotten it right yet. As far
But he
as
did
what-
say his wife,
his wife.
he was on, I can't remember if it was Fallon or I don't remember what show it was on, but when he was the guest, he goes, my wife on the
Your
on the-
wife.
You're welcome. On the previous season,
Yeah,
he
yeah.
came out and told her, and she got mad about it. And so on this season, the one that's coming up now, she's actually guessed right, but he hasn't told her because she got mad the last time when he told her. I was like, wow, you imagine that? I think it would be amazing to live with the knowledge of what's going to happen. To like a show, it's an event. Like the final season of a Game of Thrones doesn't come around all the time.
Yeah.
The world doesn't get ready for things like this all the time,
Yeah.
And you have the knowledge.
People who haven't watched it have to listen to it for another 6 months.
But
Sorry.
if you watch
2
it,
months.
you're gonna be that guy.
No, I have no doubt. It's right up my alley. It's
amazing.
I haven't gotten around
I want to say
it.
this is probably the biggest as far as TV wise that I can recall, probably since Breaking Bad. I can't
like a
think of-
finale.
I can't think of anything that's been since Breaking Bad on that level of fandom. I mean, because Walking Dead's still around, and Mad Men ended before Breaking Bad.
I
don't know
don't see
else
them
there
as
would
being
be.
a big fandom like that. Mad Men's got a big audience.
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
get it twisted.
Yeah.
But this is a different level.
No, yeah.
This is a Sopranos ending. This is
this is Sopranos Lost, or
do we even bring in MASH?
that's a different. Nothing will ever have the viewership of MASH.
Yeah, the world was a different time.
How many
MASH.
views?
it was
MASH?
like 51 million.
Seinfeld had 75 million.
Maybe that was the bigger one.
It was, but the thing about
Cheers might
MASH,
have had a bigger one.
the thing about MASH,
see.
it was like
I'm interested now.
the world watched it for real.
No. Yeah, absolutely.
But not everybody had TVs like they do now. So the way they spin it is like, there's more TVs when the next stuff happens.
Yeah. Oh no. I was wrong.
nice.
Wow. Yeah. So MASH was number one, 105 million.
Dude.
Could you imagine that? So that's basically saying,
Magnum PI.
and consider also that this is in 1970 something, where the population was probably only 250 million. Like, to get 105 million today, when we're almost 400 million, would be unheard of.
And half of our audience is going, what the heck is MASH?
Listen,
Right?
I've got to. All right, so there's a list.
So sad.
And in this list are the TV shows like MASH, Cheers, Seinfeld, Friends,
One we can't name anymore.
the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson, his last show probably. And then in the middle of that is a show called The Fugitive at number 3.
That was huge back in the day, in the 60s.
Huge.
I was like, I don't know what that show is.
It's
You never saw the
the
Harrison-
movie is based on the show.
Yeah. Harrison Ford.
I thought the
old
movie was
TV
based
show.
on a book.
No, it's based on a TV show.
I thought it was based on a real case.
Nope.
I thought Tommy Lee Jones was a real marshal.
You really thought there was a one-armed? You really thought there was a one-armed man?
There's not. He was behind it
I
the
thought
whole
Harrison
time.
Ford was a real doctor with a real beard.
I thought he
Used
really
a real
didn't.
razor.
I thought he really didn't kill his wife,
Ah, man.
He did.
and I thought Tommy Lee didn't care.
I thought the one-armed man was a real one-armed man. He might have been.
He wasn't. That's like saying Willow really wasn't Willow. You know what I'm saying?
Star Trek had
We
30.
are in the trenches, guys.
That's so crazy. Everyone,
No, this is crazy.
Dallas.
Who shot JR? Who shot JR?
Chris went to cheatsheet.com and he basically just found all the views of shows finales.
I'm actually surprised that's not bigger. All in the Family. Everyone loves Archie.
One we can't name.
Would you say his name might rhyme with Schmouse Me? Wow.
That's so crazy.
MASH, 1983. More watched than the Super Bowl that year. That is crazy. And it was not surpassed until Super Bowl, was that 45?
I don't know.
Looks like.
XLIV, whatever one that one is.
I think that's 45.
Speaking of championships, Chris.
Right?
Congrats to Virginia.
Yeah, they won it out.
For winning the old NCAA tournament.
Great game until overtime.
Congrats to the Baylor Bears women's basketball program for winning their championship.
All right. I know Baylor Bears were your thing.
I'm just giving shout outs, to the champions of the world.
Congrats to Chris Davis for setting the record for most at bats without a hit.
That's actually somebody said he hadn't got a hit since.
It was like ridiculous.
What was the stat they did?
I don't know.
But, last year when Notre Dame had the quarterback switch,
yeah,
he hadn't got a hit since the other guy was the quarterback.
That's terrible. That was like the first or second week, wasn't it? When they made that switch?
Yeah, that's crazy. So fun times.
Dear Lord.
That's all you got, John? That's all you're bringing to the table?
Well, I do have something for the listeners.
Sure.
That's probably important to go and get in
You want to go and do that?
Yeah.
We got that stuff out the way. Sports, movies, what we did, fun.
None of you asked me what I did.
We'll get there. But real quick. So, as everyone who's listening probably knows, but if this is your first episode, welcome to Weekly Games Chat. This is episode 199. Where the heck have you been?
Welcome to your first time.
Yeah, right. Next week's episode is episode 200. We're not going to reveal the topic just yet. It's not going to be a game. It's going to be its own thing. It's
going to be us.
John suggested it.
Should we not announce it first and then again at the end?
We'll do both.
We'll announce.
Because people bounce around.
Yes, we're going to do it now.
Especially those two guys that hate you on iTunes. They go to the end to hear you talk to people on emails.
That's funny.
So they'll be there listening.
I was suspicious.
So, as we've said before, episode 200 will be broadcast without video, but with a lovely picture of our faces that I found from way, way, way back. At 3 p.m., April 13th, Eastern Standard Time. So, this Saturday at 3 p.m., I'll probably start the stream a little bit early, so it will just be up there, and there'll be a wonderful, hey, this is going to start soon screen and some music, and you can just sit there, and then once we've got everything working and we're sure it's working, then we will cue in the show and we will go from there. But yeah, come join us. If you want to post in the chat, we'll definitely see if we can't answer some questions live. Write in all your comments for, if you have longer form opinions, or if you can't watch live, go and write them in, and we'll see if we can answer them live on air too.
And because it's live, it has the potential to go horrible.
It probably will.
I'm kind of excited about that.
Yeah.
I'm expecting it to go horribly.
Some of the best radio shows I've listened to when they go live for the Halloween event at the bar or whatever they do, it turns out to be phenomenally excellent. Mm-hmm. It's a different beast, and I think the episode of 200 for us warrants a possible just train wreck of a show. But
will there be beers? We don't know.
It's possible.
I mean, it's 3 p.m. on a Saturday. I could just say, I don't care what you two do.
When you go golfing on a Saturday, it's 9 p.m. You're cracking beers open.
That's right.
All right.
9 a.m.
Is that what I said? I
No,
said
he was at 9 p.m.
Yeah.
You're like, what golf course are you going
I
to?
will say that at 9 p.m. before, I've been tanked after being in a golf tournament where I was drinking beer all day, and then I go to the clubhouse and there's like a party because it's a 2-day event, and I get hammered, right?
Yeah.
I don't remember waking up the next day. It was fantastic.
You're like, huh?
Tea time was all early. That's when it got rough. That's when you go, I really wish I wouldn't have drank that much beer the night before.
Yeah, those are always dangerous.
But I'm excited, man. Hopefully we get some people on Twitch. If not, if you can't come to Twitch, Chris is still going to capture that audio, I think.
Yeah, it will still be a regular episode in the sense that we will have that there. I don't know if we'll do news, John. That's up to you if you want to do news.
I think we do a regular show and just see what happens. That's my 2 cents.
Because it is going to be a short week for the news.
I'll have it ready.
Yeah. Like
whatever we got.
go like some stuff happened this week. Bye.
Yeah.
But yes, 3 p.m. this Saturday, April 13th.
2019 for you
Eastern
people
Standard
listening
Time.
in 2020.
So if you live on the West Coast at noon, if you live over in London, 8 p.m. That's why we picked 3 p.m. We tried to find what we thought
you live
was
in
the best
Australia.
place.
We're sorry.
Yeah, 3 a.m. I don't know,
It must be lonely.
right? Good day, mate.
No?
No.
You can literally
Australia's awesome. Dude.
Look, if they're in Australia,
They brought
3
us out
a.m.
back. They brought
It
us
must
out.
be lonely. Matchbox.
Matchbox
Boo.
20.
boo.
Rob Thomas. He's got an album. You like? Oh, John gave Chris the look of death.
Sir, there's only one acceptable Rob Thomas song, and that
Smooth
is
with
Santana,
Santana. Yeah.
featuring Rob Thomas.
That was a horrible.
Santana, the guy who cannot survive on his own talent.
You mean
You mean
Yeah, that's
the guy
exactly-
who
has more
made-
money than us?
Yeah.
that guy.
Yeah.
The guy who has like tons of Grammys and
Missed the
like
point.
a 40
Missed the
yard.
point completely. Missed the
No,
point.
we got the point, John.
One of us played at Woodstock, and it wasn't anyone in this room.
Chris,
But
was it Santana?
it was. He did play it. But that said, I think it'll be a lot of fun. I think the topic that John suggested, as soon as I heard it, I was like, that's the right one.
Twitch.tv/weekly games chat.
Yes.
This Saturday, 3 p.m. Be there or be square.
Ooh. Most of you should already be followed. There's like 70 followers on there now,
It's amazing.
right?
Yeah, I like it.
Amazing.
And while you're there, if you want to hit the subscribe button or
Chris,
or donation,
Just we want them there, Chris. We just
Right.
want them listening.
it gets the people going.
It does get the people going.
But that said, John, how was your week?
Oh, you really did ask him.
Yeah. Well,
I
you
thought
know,
that
he
was the
cries
bit.
about
We never
things,
ask
so
him. That's part of the bit.
Yeah, we just move on.
It's like Meg.
Hey,
From
you just
Family
broke
Guy.
your Apple Watch.
I did not.
I should just go on. Tell us about your week.
It's fine.
Shut up, John. Let's go to the topic.
That's it.
That's all you got. That's all you got.
I'm, you know. it's
You ain't
good.
got nothing.
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, good.
I don't know what's happening. I love
The best part of this is
Hope this doesn't happen on Twitch.
I kind of hope it does.
It's gonna go so bad.
That's why I'm really hoping to do the thing I want to do so bad.
We discussed this, Sean.
Oh.
You can't
I can't.
just
You
pull
can't-
it out like that.
You can't tell me what
Should
to do.
we tell the listeners that the topic is just going to be unions and Hideo
Oh, my
Kojima?
God. And now we're at a 4.3 on iTunes, guys.
Right,
Thanks a
thanks.
lot.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Chris.
Yep. And this is my final episode.
Made it to 200.
Right?
Bye.
199. I ain't going to be on the next one.
Oh, my goodness.
But that said, do you guys want to do the topic?
Sure, man.
If you insist.
Yeah, let's do it.
I mean, you guys are the ones
We're gonna.
talking.
Hey, we got this.
All I do is
Topic
make
of the year
logo.
so far. Let's
Is
do
it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Topic time.
The topic is, what the hell is this called? Yoshi's
Crafted World. Why do you always do this?
No, I honestly
Wait,
did not.
It's not Yoshi's cookie?
It's Yoshi something.
I gotta go home. Played the wrong game.
Hi, John.
I might have played Yoshi's cookie.
Is there Yoshi's Cookie?
Yeah, it's on the NES.
Yoshi's Cookies on
Yoshi's
the NES?
cookie. It sucks.
Did it?
Oh yeah.
Yoshi's cookie sounds like something people go after.
Oh dear.
Did it all for the cookie.
So you can take that Yoshi and
It's right there. It's right there as a companion piece to Mario was missing.
Mario's Missing is amazing.
No, it's not. What was that, Super NES?
Yeah, I rented that game from
Smash. Shut
up.
Blockbuster, and I beat it in one day.
Yeah, I'm sure you did.
I did.
One of my most favorite Super NES games that's probably the suckiest, but I loved it, was Tasmania.
based off the TV show.
Well, it was about Tasmanian Devil, but it was like him. It was like a
With his
racing. It
family?
was a racing game almost.
Can I tell you
It's like
one
he's
of my...
running down this
So did
road.
it have like Dizzy and
Dizzy.
It had
the
him.
female one?
No, it had him running. It was a runner.
Can I tell you my favorite Super Nintendo game that was your Tasmanian Devil version?
Sure.
The Lion King.
Wait. That was probably, as I recall,
That was an okay game.
I think that was GamePro gave it like 5 insane faces. Do you remember that rating system for
so
GamePro?
it was okay that I liked The Lion King?
I think so. All those Disney games at the time that came out for Super NES were really good. Aladdin was really good.
Lamb was really good.
So I think
the Star Wars games were good.
The Star Wars game.
They were hard, but they were good.
Yeah, they were excellent. Yeah, Tasmania, right there. That's the one. It's like a racer. You just run and you try to catch. I think you try to catch
Crazy
birds or something like that.
It looks amazing.
Yeah, it's not a bad looking game. I got a kick out of it. It's set. I think it's set to a timer, and as you're racing, you have to eat certain things while you're racing. So
Yoshi.
I say racing as if I say racing as if you're racing somebody, but you're not. That's
cool.
I think this is that's not.
I have no idea.
That's probably a Sega game.
Sega.
Jeez.
But yeah.
Apparently,
How did we get here?
I don't know.
Apparently, we were all made by Sunsoft.
You talked about Yoshi's Cookie because we were talking about
Oh,
Yoshi.
yeah.
And then
I called it really bad.
Yeah, this happened. But so John finally bought Yoshi and we played it together.
You finally bought Yoshi.
I'm joking because remember when it released, I had got it I think a day or two before you and you had not got it. But
I had it and it just took me a couple of days to get to it because unfortunately I got really obsessed with Sekiro.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the accent you just put on Sekiro.
I don't either.
I'm really
Why'd you do
fond of
that
now?
I was trying to be
trying to be cool.
cool.
Sekiro.
Sekiro.
Yeah, he said Sekiro. I was
Sekiro.
like,
Sekiro.
what is the ro?
Yeah.
Don't ever say
Shadows
Sekiro.
died twice.
But speaking of companion pieces,
Oh, is this a?
I think Yoshi's Crafted World is a nice companion piece to Sekiro. Yoshi's died
Because
twice.
one is like
Yoshi.
nowhere near the difficulty,
going off
or-
of Sekiro. It's just it's a detox.
It's like a breath of fresh
It's
air.
a detox to play a game like Yoshi's Crafted World. You know, I mean, it's a harder game than Sekiro. I mean, Yoshi's Crafted World. Yoshi's Crafted World makes Sekiro look like Kirby's Epic Yarn.
If you had been on the stream last night to hear me almost start to rage,
You'd think you were playing Dark Souls or something.
but John and I both got excited when the demo for Yoshi dropped.
Oh man,
That's when my I was excited for this game, and I knew my household was going to own this game because my wife is
Your wife.
thank you, is a huge Yoshi fan. She always has been. A matter of fact, fun fact: when our bed is made, John, on our bed sits 5 Yoshis,
Made.
no kidding.
different colors. Yeah,
Just
Wow.
like a game.
yeah,
So your bed is basically Yoshi's Island.
possibly.
That's insane.
I got Yoshi's tongue.
What do you do with
What just happened? What?
Yoshi.
where do the Yoshis go during
Richardness?
Yeah.
the floor. They
What's
got.
happening?
You make them watch?
They gotta go.
You just called it Richardness.
I'm just trying to
Richard
imagine.
time.
I'm just trying to imagine Richard
I'm in a
time
state of
time.
Richard.
You're.
I'm just trying to imagine you during. Yeah, I'm just like trying to imagine you having Richard time. It's going, and you just casually glance over,
And he's
and
looking-
then like there's 4 eyes of Yoshi just staring
judging
at
me.
you.
Your
You're
new
like,
podcast.
Be ashamed.
You're
of
doing a new
yourself.
You're
podcast
so
called
dirty.
Richard Time with Sean.
At least a little short
dirty.
segment every once in a while. Huh?
Yeah.
But yeah, I played the demo and the gameplay was so good.
Were you immediately going, I'm getting this? from
Yeah,
the demo?
I immediately knew it. I told my wife.
Your wife.
Thanks, John.
I'm not good at this.
She needed to.
I'm just not.
Okay, so anytime I say wife, you got to say it back like we say it.
You have to understand something, though. You guys were doing it to me for a year, so in my mind, it's just something that's done to me.
Okay. Yeah, the
So
world.
I'll get there. You just got to give me. You got to give me time.
I understand it.
He's special.
So the demo, as John pointed out, is not the entire game.
Nah.
Last night, you told me
Wait
that.
a minute.
Remember, it's cool, Chris. Don't worry about it. We're
Sorry.
recording a
I
show.
I think Chris is bored, guys.
No, he's gonna if he pulls a Chris during this, I'm slicing his throat box.
$1.99. That's all that happened.
I was trying to see if there was CC so I could listen to you guys, but also I really want to because I don't know if you saw.
Do what you usually do. Put on some footage
I watched the game.
and go make us some tea.
Yeah, do all the things you normally do.
Whoa.
When you don't
I make
buy
tea?
when you don't support the Nintendo Switch and don't buy Yoshi.
Sir, I bought a game that I'm wanting to talk about on that system. I streamed 2 games recently from that system.
No,
The episode should be both those games, and then you should be done with it as soon as you start talking. Because those are going to carry.
Like beef.
Those are going to carry no. Yoshi, we got plenty of content. People like Yoshi. No one cares about stupid Ape Escape and that other dumb game you played.
I brought notes.
Too bad.
Yeah. But yeah, Yoshi. So the demo was great. John and I waited anxiously for the release date of the game. When did it drop, John?
Well, we camped outside of GameStop.
The night we spooned together in our tent, even though we didn't need a tent or to spoon together.
Well, the car got foggy.
Well, that was because
so much hot breath.
You remember that scene in Titanic where Rose's hand just kind of hits the glass because that car is foggy?
That happened, and when it happened,
That was nice.
it was hot.
That was nice, right?
It was nice.
So yeah, go ahead, John, with your notes. First of all, if you brought notes to the game or to the table, you gotta do the thing to let people know you got notes.
Oh,
Yeah, that thing. You got notes. So I'll let you be the. That's enough, John. You let them know. Okay,
sorry. Okay, you got the point though. I have notes.
So the game, at any point, John, you take over because you do this well. Okay.
You said that the night we were waiting outside for the game.
So the premise of the game is the Yoshis are chilling, and they've got this. What do you call the thing?
I think I wrote it down.
What do you call the thing with the stones in it? What is that? That's like their source of Yoshi.
Infinity Gauntlet.
No,
yeah,
that's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny.
What is it called?
I don't know. It's like Thanos diamonds.
Oh, it's the Sun Dream Stone.
the sun. It's the sun, right? And it's a stone, and it's got these jewels.
It sits at the top of Yoshi's Island,
And it's a beautiful little piece of
and it has the
whateverness.
power to make anyone's dreams come true.
It's excellent.
So obviously,
So it really is the Infinity Gauntlet.
it's
Kind
pretty
of.
much.
Except for it
kind
doesn't.
of is.
It doesn't have thumbs and a forefinger to snap. So yeah, there's Switch.
But it's on Switch.
So
I feel like this was a missed opportunity.
So the premise of what we eventually encounter has to do because Bowser Jr. and that stupid wizard guy
Yeah,
decide they want to be douche nozzles
stupid wizard guy.
and cause a ruckus.
Yeah,
They make the Sunstone
Do they bring the ruckus?
and all of its jewels disperse.
yeah.
Okay.
They get into this tug of war battle with the Yoshis, and you know what happens when somebody eventually lets go during a tug of war? Everything scatters. And so the gems, as they're called, get scattered across this world, dragging the Yoshis with it.
And the only way to get it back.
As you can see, it's top-notch storytelling once again from Nintendo.
And the only way to get it back is through the power of platforming.
That's right. The power of platforming.
And I'm going to definitely talk about how great and surprising the platforming is on this game, how difficult it can be at certain times. But so the world is opened up to you, and because, of course, in the title, the name of the game is Yoshi's Crafted World, everything you see is crafted. John explained. John, you know, that's very deep, right? So, John, explain the types of things we see on our worlds.
Well, you see, in the previous game for Yoshi, it was the woolly world,
Yeah,
where everything was woolly.
yeah, like woolly, Chris.
So
like everything was a mammoth?
let's picture a very imaginative kid wanted to build a 3D world for his action figures. You take basic
Paper plates,
cardboard,
cups,
paper plates, cups,
boxes,
all kinds of stuff that you
strings.
cut out and you make shapes with. The cows are made out of paper, all this stuff. It's almost like a cross between Paper Mario and some other game I can't think of to compare
Maybe
it to.
one of the Kirby ones?
No,
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's actually it's a cross between
art style
I got
wise.
it. It's a cross between Paper Mario and the traditional art style of Yoshi's Island, I would say.
Makes sense.
I
So
like it.
yeah, but definitely one of the things that surprised me in light of and not to steal your thunder, Sean, in comparison to New Super Mario Brothers Deluxe for the Switch. I was surprised, and it's just me, probably an unpopular opinion, how much better the platforming mechanics were in this Yoshi game as opposed to that one. And the only reason I say that, this could be blasphemy, I've noticed in the new Super Mario Brothers games, Mario and his compatriots have been just too floaty for me.
I think
Yeah, you said that during the review too.
Way too floaty.
Yeah.
And Yoshi
I want to
is...
say one of them is specifically designed to be more
You
floaty.
said that too.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. One of them probably is like Luigi's designed to be floaty. But that plays into the mechanic and it helps you. But the floatiness of Mario and all that hinders you, in my opinion. But I will say these mechanics are the best I've played, or remind me of why I like Mario Brothers 3, because those mechanics aren't floaty at all.
No.
Super Mario World, you get into the more floaty mechanics. So, but Sean,
we're doing great. You didn't steal our thunder. We worked
We're doing
together
okay?
on that.
Are we doing okay?
We're doing great. We're feeding off each other. The energy's here. We like the game. They're going to hear about it some more.
Ooh,
Let's just keep going.
I have to cop to something.
All right, let's go. Okay, you don't like the game?
This game's trash.
Oh no! Stop the recording, Chris. We got to fix some things.
No.
That looks nice. We're looking at Chris's artwork for our topic. It's nice.
So you basically, the premise of this game, you got to go after these. You got to get these 5 gemstones back and put them back in the
gauntlet.
Basically in the gauntlet.
Thanos' gauntlet on Yoshi's Island.
You have to get the Infinity Stones.
Yeah. So like traditional Mario platformers, you have this hub overworld that you open up, and there's a lot of awesome aspects to how this game opens up. In order to each stage in the game has replayability.
Oh, you did
things you can go back to. Once you finish a level, there's kind of a way to get kind of a perfect score. While you can kind
of flowers, you guys,
sunflowers.
Yeah.
So while the game is not incredibly difficult, with the exception of a few things, like I was telling Sean on the stream last night, if you don't respect the game, it will find ways to trip you up.
And that was one of the things. Yeah, that's a big point. The game it's Yoshi. It looks adorable. He's running around and he's able to whip out his tongue and swallow whatever things in front of him. You know what I mean? There's some things that he can't, but for the most part, he immediately has the Yoshi eggs.
That's like you just did like a true criticism right there. Just
did?
Yeah, the classic just say something and not realizing maybe how that sounded.
He invents sentences.
Yes.
I did?
Yeah, but it's great.
It's because that's the thing I do?
I don't remember what you said.
I don't either.
So he whips his tongue out and just swallows whatever.
Yeah. I was going to let you go, dude, I can't say in the middle of me saying that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
This is falling off the deep end.
Because of Chris and his stupid...
Oh, absolutely.
It's totally his fault. Paper.
Hold on, let's start over.
John has notes. But... I was in a level where the platforming had to do with moving birds,
flying birds.
Fly because
that's what they do. They fly,
and the way they were flying was from left to right. A couple of them were going up and down, and in the middle of that, you had some shy guys blowing into a straw, and then one of those coney, what are they? Styrofoam balls that you would make your planet sculpture from in elementary school.
They rise and they
fall. So you have a rise and fall element going, and then in the middle of that you have birds coming left or right that you have to jump on. And Yoshi doesn't like running into birds. Yoshi can do his Yoshi jump where you hold the button and he kind of wiggles his little legs to go a little bit farther. Yeah. And there are certain things you're trying to reach. And I got so frustrated with that game, and going back to John's point, it's because it looks fluffy. It looks like Yoshi. It looks fun. The music is very whimsical. Life's great. You're Yoshi. But now it got hard, and my brain couldn't comprehend why is this game hard. And it's because I was not respecting the game.
You weren't respecting the Yoshi.
Yeah, the Yoshi is legit.
It's Dark Souls.
It's surprisingly Dark Souls-ish. And I kept dying, and I eventually got it. And then when you learn. I guess during these certain levels that may challenge you, you learn to respect the game. You learn how to take your time. I got caught up in trying to do a lot of the things, the replayable things that John points out that you try to go for. You mentioned sunflowers in each level. When you complete it, you get a rating system. There's hidden sunflowers that you can find. If you have all of your health, you can get a sunflower or daisy or whatever type of flower it is. I don't know what people.
Oh,
it looks more daisy.
Yeah, it is a daisy.
More
it's a daisy.
Sorry. It's okay, John.
Thanks, man.
There's secret red coins that you find. So if you get I think there's 20 of those in each level, you can get a daisy. And then after you finish the level, at some point in the game, a Poochie comes. Poochie, right? You're actually introduced to Poochie during your play, and he's awesome. He's like he looks like the dog from Woolly World.
Yeah, he is the dog.
He is that same dog.
Yeah.
They didn't alter him at all. But you have an option to play the levels backwards, which add a whole new element to the game. To get to each world, there's a guy. He's just a ridiculous box with a flower on top of his head, and he's sad when you first see him, and he needs flowers for him to open the world for you.
Yeah.
And that starts on the first world you go to. Well, after you beat these levels and you're getting ready to move on to the next world, this guy, the same flower box head guy, he says, hey, by the way, there's some things I'm looking for in these levels. And they're things that you may have overlooked during your first run through, like a paper plate that is blue on the bottom of the ocean floor that kind of looks like a flounder, kind of. And so when you go and you find that thing, you can get it, and life's good. What I love about that, if you are one of those people that want to go back and do those things, as soon as you get the object or objects that guy is asking for, the screen pops up with an option that you can continue to keep playing, or you can be done with the level right then and there, which is cool. Because the replayability is high on each level, I think that's an awesome feature to have when you're going to kind of do a hunt for an item that the guy is looking for.
Yeah,
So-
the challenge is not necessarily, obviously, it's not necessarily the platforming itself, although you can get tripped up a couple of times, and it does obviously get harder as you go, but the challenge I found, and I was laughing to myself, I was laughing out loud last night because I got through 75% of the level. This was well into the game, and I had yet to find a single daisy
yeah.
in the level, and I
sometimes-
was just like, I was starting to feel really, really dumb because the sun, I keep wanting to call them sunflowers, but the daisies and it's different for every level. You have to find a certain amount, and you can track it along the course. You can backtrack if you missed one, things like that. But the hardest thing to do is the hardest thing to do is to get perfect health with no damage, because that, like you said, that nets you a daisy. And then the real hard part is finding, particularly further into the game, the 20 red coins.
Yeah.
So getting a perfect, and when you do that for a level, you get like this stamp. It's kind of a
Sound like
classic
you-
motif.
You did it. You're done.
Kirby was the same way. You get this stamp on it that means you've done all this. But like you said, you get to go back and you get to hunt down different things that box boy wants you to find.
Well, that's what they've always
But that's the
They've always kinda
challenge
done
of it.
in Yoshi.
like. Yeah, no matter. Well, just Nintendo in general. Like,
Toad's treasure
Yeah.
tracker has that too.
Yeah,
in
yeah.
his recent memory.
yeah, Toad, you can get through the level, most of them, pretty easily. Maybe sure the later ones will be a little bit more of a challenge, but that Super Mario Odyssey, Kirby, all that kind of stuff, like that's where they do well is this idea of like, look, if you want to go off the deep end and make this more of a challenge for yourself, you can.
Yeah.
Otherwise, here's just some really cool mechanics, and we'll take you through, and you can move on with your life. Like, right, you get to determine how much you want to invest into this.
And speaking of the way they've classically done the games, like you mentioned, when you finally get to a boss that you fight, the animation to introduce the bosses is pretty cool. It's a nice little cutscene, but then they still have the standard. I don't know if it's Nintendo-esque or if it's bosses in general, but it's the 3 hits you got to get on the boss.
Yeah, it's more. It's.
I feel like that's always what it is.
It was
right?
kind of invented by Nintendo.
Yeah.
Stomp on the head 3 times.
Some of the smaller mini bosses, you can usually get a couple of stomps in at one time. The major bosses, when you stomp them the one time, he turns into the second phase of his anger or his wanting to get you, so things get harder, and then eventually by the third one, you're really moving around on the screen to try to not get hit by whatever objects are thrown at you.
John, could you imagine a boss fight in Sekiro with only 3
Stomp
hits?
the head 3 times.
Yeah, that's it.
Golden.
See, right. The levels are beautiful.
I agree.
It's hard to say, hey man, this level where there's like this molten Play-Doh-y looking stuff that's supposed to be lava, and these rock things that I think are like rocks. For it to all tie together and it be the level, like you feel like you're playing a lava level in Mario.
Yeah.
but it's not any of that stuff. It's fantastic. Some of the outdoor levels that featured acorns and trees and tree branches, it looked like I saw a Yoshi running in the your local park or woods.
Yeah, it was all, everything's made out of cardboard, but everything's alive and bright and pops. It just, everything is so, I mean, and let's be honest, nobody does cute like Nintendo does. I mean, nobody does cute like that.
You're absolutely right.
And I'm cute.
One of the cute things that they do that I don't know if they did in Woolly World is they introduce costumes, and they may have with Amiibo support in the Woolly World. I don't remember. But so you're earning money as you go through. There's coins, just like in like a Mario game. And in the hub of each world with the box head flower guy, there's like a gumball machine. Boy. Yeah. And in that gumball machine, when you go to it, it's to unlock costumes. So you put your coin in, or your whatever amount it asks you for, and out comes a little Yoshi egg ball. It opens up and you get a costume. Those costumes are fantastic because you can equip them. And Yoshi, it's adorable because he's wearing it. Say it's like I'm trying to think of the one I did, like a truck. Mm-hmm. So Yoshi's running around with a little cardboard truck. But what that does is it gives you extra health on levels to protect you from getting hurt on a level that you may find a little bit more difficult or what have you. And the adorable factor is that if there's a scale of 1 to 10, it's at an 11 for me.
For sure.
It's freaking adorable.
And just the creativity of the levels. I mean, I'm not exactly sure the routes you've taken. Mm-hmm. I mean, one of the key things is, you just don't go from World 1, World 2, World 3. You can kind of go in any reasonable direction you want to. You don't have to do.
Thank you.
You don't have to do a certain world before the next world. You can pick and choose which way you go. Mm-hmm. So there's some real opportunity to explore, and just the worlds are so dynamic and different. Nothing really ever looks the same. There's the lava worlds that are kind of more traditional. But there's these levels that sort of go off the beaten path as far as what the game is traditionally doing. I think you were playing it last night, the level with the airplane.
Yeah,
which was just an amazing level.
So every once in a while, you'll have a new mechanic to where you're not doing the classic platform. John brings up an airplane, and as this type of level is going to come up because as Yoshi starts at his starting area, you walk up to almost like a dry erase or chalkboard, and it kind of tells you things that you need to do in this particular level and what mechanic you're going to be. The first one you're introduced to is a life-size, it almost looks like a wooden Yoshi that you're controlling, and he's got like a hand with a boxing glove on that you can move up and down, and as that Yoshi moves across the level, you have to punch the things in the way. The one John just brought up is an airplane, and the mechanic is you have to put Yoshi on the front of the plane to make the plane go down. You have to put Yoshi on the back of the plane to make the plane's nose go up. So you start flying through a level, and the way the plane is moving like an airplane is based on how you're moving your Yoshi. So imagine throwing in that element. You're trying to get daisies for that level, but then bombs are falling out of the sky. Other planes are coming at you, shooting at you. Things are in the way. Mm-hmm. It can be very chaotic, but it's super fun. One of my favorite levels so far has been one in a mine, or it was supposed to look like it was in a mine, where you have to move little mine cars back and forth. It was early on.
Yeah,
super fun. I'm pleasantly surprised on how many levels there are. You think in my mind, I go, okay, like the first Mario game, on Nintendo was it had 8 levels. There was 8 worlds with 4 levels apiece. So that's like 32 levels you could have played if you wanted to. Did I do the math right there?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking when I see these first 5 suns, I'm thinking, how's this going to play out? Is that only
in my head doing the math? There's like between 40 and 50 levels.
Yeah, there's a lot of levels.
And that's just the main game. I hear there's some end of game levels, like particularly maybe 3 or 4 ultra challenging levels.
Oh my god!
But
Sekiro Souls.
Yeah, this game is Souls-like.
It just pushes boundaries. Makes you really
Yoshi
question how far you want to go.
And if you die, you lose all your eggs, and you have to go back to the eggs and collect the eggs.
Dear God.
Chris asked about how the health is kept up, and you have a meter You have your main beating heart, and then there's like little hearts that go around it.
Yeah.
If you've ever played Yoshi, you know that sometimes when you pop one of the clouds that come up with the question mark on it, little pink hearts fall down. Those are what you have. Those increase your overall health. The hiddenness of possible clouds or daisies or other things you find, extra coins, it adds a level of depth to each of the levels you're on that is super. It's super fun.
It's like a 2.5D, you know?
Yeah.
2.5, Richard?
In Woolly World, did they have it where you could go?
I never played Woolly World.
It wasn't just left and right.
I didn't play that one.
You could actually, at some point, the path would make you go that way. So it's like you're walking. You get to see behind buildings, and I think it did.
Yeah.
But this adds a super. It's just super cool how they do it. They followed up with Woolly World and its adorableness, and they brought more of an arts and craft and a paper like world really to life. It's fantastic. I love this game.
Yeah, one of the chief mechanics in this game is sort of traditional to a Yoshi game. Your eggs are your weapons. It's how you take down. It's one of the ways you take down enemies, and it's also in this one, unlike the original Yoshi's Island, which I think everybody here would agree is a amazing game.
True. Yeah.
But this one you are allowed to aim one of your eggs in almost anywhere in the level that you want. And there's these cardboard cutouts that are like clouds, bushes, things like that you can knock down because you never know, there might be coins hidden behind them. So the whole level is this everything. You have to look and search for all these items in the world. They're just not visible to the naked eye. You have to knock over things, manipulate the world. Tons of mechanisms in this world that you can push and pull and knock out and all this stuff. It just makes the world a little bit more organic, and gives it just a whole lot more depth, given primarily with this egg shooting mechanic.
Yeah, you're able to aim almost to any field, like depth. It's crazy. Like, I don't remember any other Yoshi I've played being able to do that.
Yeah, it's typically the egg was used, it would shoot forward, and that's pretty much
kind of
it.
diagonal, left, right, whatever. But this one, you can aim almost anywhere. I love Yoshi as a character. Obviously, Nintendo knows they have something there. Yoshi's been the main character in several games now. Mm-hmm. He's adorable. They're just early on. He's talking to the first box flower guy that you see, and you see the text from the flower guy going back and forth.
What are you doing here? And he explains.
And then he says, "Well, my name's this. What's your name?" And you just hear Yoshi say, "Yoshi." And when he's holding his egg and he's aiming, you just hear the.
Yeah,
it's just adorable, and yeah, like you said, this is a breath of fresh air coming off a Sekiro type game, but it's just so fun that I'm glad I have a Switch. I'm glad I'm able to buy and play this game because this is the type of game that is just fun, and
there's no pressure to it.
Speaking of that, there is a mode like it's funny because John and I both saw this pop up. It actually gives you the option when you first play, but John and I are champions, so we chose.
I heard that it automatically tries to default you
after
to it, right?
after a certain couple of deaths on my part, the screen popped up, which was completely embarrassing. It said, if you'd like, you can switch to mellow mode.
By the way, we have a mellow mode for you people who can't play real games.
We understand you suck.
We understand you suck.
It was the equivalent of the things in bowling that pop up for when kids bowl, so they don't get gutter balls.
Kids bowl.
Exactly.
That's what that pop up was to me. So, yeah, man. Anything else on your notes we need to go over? Because I've said this game is awesome about 42 times.
You'll get a new mechanic in a level, for example, and that mechanic is great, but you'll never get to use that mechanic again.
Like the Triceratops.
So oftentimes, something like that. Yeah. Oftentimes it just doesn't. It doesn't really capitalize on the original ideas, things that are truly unique to the game.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So that's one. That's one criticism of mine. Another one, and it's a style choice. I wish they would. I think the games like Kirby and Yoshi, I think it's time to while I understand that the reason they do this is probably because the primary audience is a younger audience, I feel like these games, because this game in particular felt so good to play as a platformer, you wished for that additional challenge. I know we ran into some challenge in
couple levels,
levels,
but for the most part, yeah.
And just putting in that one additional option on these games going forward. You got the mellow mode, the regular adventure mode, and then expert mode. Just veteran player mode, veteran platformer mode, whatever you want to call it. I just think it's time to put that stuff into Kirby and Yoshi and all these traditional platformers that are designed for a younger audience. I understand that they can still be for a younger audience, but give that extra content. Like I'm hearing that at the end of this game that it unlocks 3 or 4 levels. Why not 20 levels? Why not giving that player that additional choice to be challenged by this game, because this game is fully capable of challenging you, and I don't see a reason why it can't. So that's just a couple of criticisms I have.
So it's not a 10, Chris.
I'm getting that sense.
I'm getting that vibe.
You're on your own.
A 10 is never a perfect game. Don't get it twisted.
He
gave you hope.
Curveball, glimmer of hope. I like it.
No such thing as a perfect game.
In baseball.
Okay.
Sandy Koufax.
Oh man,
World Series.
What a man.
That's funny. So it sounds like you two are ready to Richard this out. Sean, you seem pretty dang high on this game. I mean, you seemed to allude to it last night, so I'm just gonna.
Yeah, I love this game.
I'm gonna guess it's at least a 9 from you.
I'm thinking of for episode 199. I can't go 10.
Oh, you're gonna go 9.9?
I think I gotta go 9.9.
9.9.
I think I got to. I love this game. I'm going to say that if you own a Switch, you need to buy Kirby's Crafted World.
Oh.
And by Kirby's, I mean Yoshi.
That's hilarious.
You're welcome. That's what I do for you people. I think I'm going to leave it right there. I don't need. Sometimes when you give a score after we talk about a game, especially on episode 199, you give it a 9.9 and you move on.
That's true.
Yeah.
John?
You gave it a 9.9?
Give it a 9.9 for episode 199, John.
Jeez, no pressure here.
John, if you were to give this a score, what would you give it?
8.75.
Okay.
8.759.
Yeah.
That's an 8.76. No, it's not.
It's just shy of being a 9. You do. It's just shy of being what I think could be considered, on my top 5.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I don't know if my excitement comes from not playing Woolly World or not playing a Yoshi title, and
That could definitely help.
I don't know, but it's so fun and so it doesn't take itself too serious.
Well, I'm trying to hold back my because I think I could easily give it a 9 or a 9.5. The reason I'm not is because, this is not a vent session or anything. It's here lately. Over the past couple of months, there's been a lot of games that have come out. It's unusual for, I don't know. It feels like it's unusual.
It's not unusual.
No, you're not shutting it down.
Yeah,
Why don't you shut it down?
We don't shut down Tom Jones here.
So, I don't know. You
I don't know why.
You
but-
start grinding into the division and you start enjoying it. Then you've got to move on to something else. And you grind into that. You get into that. You got to move on to something else. And this is just this thing you can finish in 5 hours, and it's there's no pressure to it.
You can finish Yoshi in 5 hours.
Oh yeah, 4 to 6 hours you can finish this.
Like I said, I'm sure. Yeah, if that's all you want to do is just go from left to right.
I played for about 4 hours last night. I didn't
Well, you
finish the game,
struggled for about 2.
I don't know how to tell you, you suck.
So
I've been trying to tell you that for a while.
it's just, and look, I'm in a privileged position. I get to talk about video games on a show where we have an audience. I'm not complaining in the sense you think I am, but sometimes
complaining.
sometimes
like
you're just complaining. I mean, here lately, and I think everybody gets this way, here lately you just want to go and play BioShock or some game that has nothing to do with the
NBA
show.
2K19.
Exactly. That we'll never talk about on the show. You just want to spend a month playing the stuff you honestly want to play. And this Yoshi game kind of just gave me some peace
That's how he brings it back, huh?
It just gave me some peace and no pressure. Like, Sekiro was just
hard.
Amazing game, but it's just there's this pressure to perform.
Did you beat that guy in Sekiro?
What guy?
The one guy that Chris told you how to beat him.
The dude with the spear on top of the hill.
Oh no!
Yeah, I haven't beat the ogre
he's
either.
Insane.
I told you I was fighting right now. Oof.
You haven't beat the game yet?
I think I'm pretty dang close to the end.
Yeah.
I feel like I just made a choice that
I'm thinking this weekend
probably is going to set up what kind, because there's like 3 endings, I think.
Yeah.
So I think I just made my choice.
Well, my point, it took me forever to get to Yoshi because I was obsessed over Lady Butterfly.
Sure.
Well, I'll tell you.
Did I beat her? Not yet.
Guess what's going to happen?
I'm close.
You can get there,
This
buddy.
weekend when GameStop has a 50% extra trade-in sale. Mm-hmm. Guess what game's going to GameStop? Huh?
Sekiro.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
But yeah, enjoyed it. Go buy it. Have fun with it.
It's definitely worth $60.
Yeah,
Hands down.
hands down. There you go. 2 stamps of approval out of 2.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm glad you both enjoy it.
Thank you, sir.
You guys both sound like you're having a blast last night when
It's so fun.
you were discussing it. Meanwhile, Chris Love scored 51 points.
Yeah,
he
he
got
did.
18 assists. He lit him up. He don't need no Carl Anthony Towns.
Chris Love made his Twitch debut last night.
And he dominated. Looks just like me. We can all verify it, right? You guys saw it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Your cornrows are oh, never mind. Boo.
You guys want to do some news? Some news?
You guys want to do some news?
Right?
Sure.
This show sucks.
All right.
Show's amazing. Episode 199.
Best show ever!
Hot off the press and straight to your ears. Weekly Games Chat presents the news.
News!
Wasn't ready for that.
News! Saying 3, 2.
You can't count down when we're sitting there going at each other about words we're saying.
Yeah.
We were warring.
I was producing. I was moving the show.
Warren?
G?
What's his last name? See, because Warren.
Is this thing on?
Yeah,
Yes.
this is live. We miss saying news, so you want to do it again?
Nah.
3.
Moments pass.
I don't know. But
We'll
you
get
know.
him next week, though.
Will
we?
Will we?
It's live. We have to. We have no choice.
Chris will count us down again, and it'll be a thing.
3, 2.
See?
Bye. I should probably get the
News.
actual news thing.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, we like to read things. Just saying.
There you go.
All right. I want to, what do you want to read?
I don't care. I want to read words.
You want to do things? All right. I'll go first.
Yeah, what'd you find? Yeah, sure.
You're going to get to talk about Alan Wake,
That makes sense.
even though I love that game. Best Buy. They leak things. They leak possible Switch titles. U.S. retailer Best Buy has listed a few titles as upcoming for Nintendo Switch. Persona 5, Metroid Prime Trilogy. That's a good one, right? Were you excited about that one?
Very much so.
If that's true, I'll get to play Metroid Prime finally. And The Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past, have all been listed on its internal staff-only database, according to Twitter Leaks. What is Twitter Leaks?
I love a good leak.
When there's a leak on Twitter.
It depends, John. Persona 5 has been long rumored for Switch, mainly due to the character Joker appearing in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Metroid Bros. Metroid Prime Trilogy could be true due to it being a possible consolation for the Metroid Prime 4 delay. As far as A Link to the Past, who do we need to kill to make this happen?
I'm wondering if any of these are going to be remasters.
That's what I would love a Link to the Past remaster.
Which one are we getting? Link's Awakening?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Link's Awakening.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was. I can't wait to put mine.
No,
I would
there-
definitely play Link to the Past if it was on there.
Yeah, there's
Sure.
there's been given a lot of times retailers put like reserve spots
Yeah.
due to anticipation of it
In
happening.
case this is here, go.
Yeah. But I would love I could see giving Persona 5 a chance on Switch, since I've played some JRPGs lately.
Who is it
I
that's
could do
playing?
that.
I think Josh finally played that, and he's
did he?
like, yeah, it's definitely something unique.
Yeah.
But I think he liked it.
Yeah, I would love to find out how they would translate Metroid Prime 3 controls to the Switch.
What was the original controller,
There
John?
was motion controls.
The Switch nunchuck?
I'm sure they would just put it to a joystick.
Yeah, it's pretty
That'd
easy,
be the
John.
easy thing because first person.
You just put A.
You
where,
just solved the mystery.
You just put A where A goes, and
I'm
B
no
where B
longer
goes.
wondering.
Yeah, like literally every first person game since Halo.
Well,
Why do I have a fruit fly?
it could not be a thing. It's possible.
Ooh, I was
You know what was a thing though?
what?
Alan
A
Wake 2.
pivot.
Alan Wake 2 was a thing. We just need to give up this business.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
It's just really
I
bad.
think it's a thing.
Although Alan Wake 2 was in development at Remedy, the project did not pan out or get off the
I
ground.
was excited about that.
Speaking with Remedy, I think we reported it. Speaking with Remedy's, and they had heard it here first. Speaking with Remedy's director, we need to have a soundbite called "Breaking News."
Brought to you first here.
I could make that.
Speaking with Remedy's director of communications, Thomas Puha, or Puha,
Hey, that's
quote, "We were working on Alan Wake 2 years ago, and it just didn't pan out," which is basically what I just said. As of right now, there are no plans for the sequel in the future. Quote, "We're just booked solid for the next couple of years, really," end quote. Remedy is currently finishing up development on Control, which is set to release in 2019. I've been hearing a lot about Control, but I haven't seen any footage of it. I know it's out there. I know it's out there. I just haven't watched it.
Yeah, they did IGN did a preview, and I have to say, after watching, I was like, ooh, yeah, this is why I like Remedy games. They do interesting things.
Did they do a Max Payne game?
That they are the creators of Max Payne.
Oh, the creators of Max Payne.
Yeah.
Two things.
Then they
that
sold
was
it off
Lightning.
to
Did you see that
to
lightning?
old
guys?
Rockstar.
I did not.
Lightning was outside the window just now.
Ooh.
It's raining on record.
It- always-
Lightning strikes, an old mother cries.
Listen,
Live,
thunder,
wow.
thunder. Listen,
Yeah, it always makes me sad
to
to
the
know
floor.
that Alan Wake 2 almost happened and they just couldn't get together. I want to believe that it's probably Microsoft because I think Microsoft in part owns the IP for that.
For sure.
So it probably has to do a thing of, well, it would cost this much to make and we'd want to, for us, Remedy, to make that game, we would need you to commit to this. And,
Here's
sometimes
what I
it doesn't
believe.
go together.
Es posible. Es
here's what I
posible.
believe. With the newfound relationship between Microsoft and Nintendo, I'm
Nintendo.
calling it first Alan Wake 2
Oh, that's weird.
Switch exclusive.
How many heads would explode if that would happen?
I don't know. It'd be outstanding. You think as many as when Cuphead came over, huh? I don't know.
Who's to say? Who's to say?
Fortnite gets the royal treatment. Prince Harry has recently called for a ban on Fortnite and other games while at a YMCA in West London. According to the Daily Express, Prince Harry expressed that games are addictive.
Ooh.
Newsflash.
Really? He was speaking about addictive games and social media to mental health experts, saying that these things are more addictive than drugs and alcohol. That's anecdotal, Harry. Your Highness. When he specifically spoke about the battle
Don't you give
royale,
him his royalty?
because he's royal, right? Yeah.
We're not British.
Oh, we don't have to do that. Okay. When he specifically spoke about the battle royale,
Criticizing someone we love.
Fortnite, he said, quote, "This game shouldn't be allowed.
No, the game should not be allowed.
That's not a royal accent.
It's created to addict, an addiction to keep you in front of a computer for as long as possible, or your HDTV, because from your console.
Okay.
It's so irresponsible. Parents have got their hands up. They don't know what to do about it.
And their hands go up.
And they stand up. It's like waiting for the damage to be done. It's more dangerous because it's normalized and there are no restrictions to it. We are in a mind-altering time. Without that human connection, when you do have a problem, you have nowhere to go. The only place you might go is online, and you'll probably end up getting bullied." End quote.
That's really spoken my, no offense to Prince Harry, because I know he lives a very busy life, right? It's pretty much you're doing one of two things. You're either off on vacation or else you are touring the nation for, in the name of the crown.
Plus, he lives in a castle with a moat.
That's
around
what you
it.
do. when
Dude,
you're
and he
royal.
served in the military.
Yeah,
dude.
you're consistently doing things. So
He's
I
busy.
understand. I would be willing to venture that Prince Harry has probably not played very many games in his life. And I could definitely understand when you're, when you're talking to certain people that they are going to present these facts to you, which is, it is true. Look, games can be a very addictive thing. There's no one denying all that. It's more of like when you look at today's culture, though, I'd say, are they any more addictive than, say, just browsing the internet or going to Instagram, going to Imgur, going to Facebook, Twitter, checking the news consistently? There's unhealthy relationships with just about all forms of media out there. And then on top of that, other things that are also unhealthy for you. It's up to you as a person to decide what you want to engage in. I don't think you're going to change anything by banning Fortnite. You're just going to make a bunch of people pissed off that they can't play something they like.
And I'm a parent myself, and I don't get the thing where parents have their hands up and don't know what to do about it. It's called
turn it off.
It's called parenting.
Yeah, thank you. Make that very simple, John. It's called parenting.
You shut it down.
Yeah,
stop being scared of your kids.
Exactly.
And most of these, I mean, they're to the credit of especially Microsoft and PlayStation, they give their parents, and I haven't really researched Nintendo, but I'm sure they have stuff too. They give their parents a lot of power over those kids' accounts, where if they want to shut down things and restrict things, they have the ability, to make it very hard for them.
There's nothing more. The most pleasant sound in the world to me is the sound of a child crying.
We
know this.
I was looking into new routers, and remember I was talking about the mesh router system I was going to buy.
Yeah.
I've noticed this on a lot of new streaming devices, like to get the internet to the different rooms of your house, that they do have.
Just cut it off.
Yeah, like a certain, you can set the time. It's almost like a timer where you can say from this time to this time we're going to have dinner.
Now it's dead
and you're
zone.
doing homework and there's no internet in the house.
Yeah,
That's cool.
That's pretty cool.
Prince Harry obviously is wrong about the principled application of a ban.
Sure.
He's not wrong about the idea.
Yeah,
I get what he's trying to say.
I mean,
do.
You can go online and read stories about, and I think we reported this one on the news. A kid sat through a tornado because he had to play Fortnite.
Correct. Yeah.
That is a problem.
Sure.
There's a kid. I read about adults out there who wear grown up diapers so they can defecate on themselves, so they don't have to get up and interrupt their play in Fortnite. That's horrible. So he's right. He's 100% right about the damage that a medium such as this, and I say such as this, does to a person. I know someone who was put in rehab because they were addicted to Tetris. Mm-hmm. I mean, this is damaging across the board, but like Chris said, it's Instagram. It's the idea of social media being damaging to someone's mental capacities because it's a constant seeking of validation. And what that validation does, it's like a drug. It constantly, when you hear a click or a like or something like that, dopamine gets released. It's a drug. It is a drug of some form. So
maybe he'll I would say for him, maybe also reach out to Prince Harry to reach out to the other good side, because it's like,
no, we don't have to worry about it. We fought a revolution to get away from these folks.
It's like anything, there's
That's hilarious.
There is good and bad, right?
And plus
there are things that like games allow people for you to reconnect to people despite the fact that you lived over vast differences or distances and all those kinds of things. We can connect with our buddy Andrew, who lives in Massachusetts, or is it Maine? Massachusetts, right? Yeah. Or
no, it's
terrible brother-in-law.
It's New Hampshire.
Is it New Hampshire?
New Hampshire?
Yeah, primary man. But
see, John, a primary is.
It allows us to do that. Going in social media, being able to catch up with relatives and see pictures of people that you care about as they're living their lives, even though you don't get to see them every day. All that is wonderful, and that's a great part of it too. Is why I would say to him. So, Fortnite, for instance, has made a lot of people reconnect, and that's a good thing. But on the other hand, there's a serious discussion to be had that whether you're a 38-year-old man or you're a 13-year-old kid, too much of anything is probably not healthy for you. Mm-hmm. Learn to put it down. Instead, just watch more Game of Thrones because the season starts Sunday.
Do what every mentally healthy person does and binge things.
Exactly.
That's
That's hilarious.
Just shut out the world for 4 weeks.
Hey, should we save the recording right now with the weather, or does your power normally cut off? Are we good?
Yeah.
All right.
We're good, or should we?
Look,
shut
maybe
it off?
episode 199.
I'm just saying, because it's been lightning and thundering.
I'm not
Just
talking
go.
about
Thunder.
Yoshi again.
I'll pull up the weather while
We do that.
here. Let me put that there for you. And
Speaking of the weather,
all right.
He said douche, but not as in douche. He just
I know.
he makes sound effects.
You're supposed to be reading.
Super
John's
Meat
turn.
Boy has been delayed.
What?
Super Meat Boy Forever has been delayed from its planned April 2019 release date. Announced by I will say, I think that was a release window. I apologize. I don't think a date has been specified. Announced by
That sounded Snape-like from Harry Potter.
Announced by Team
Page.
Meat on Twitter, the note read, "We've been knocking out the last bits of Super Meat Boy Forever at record speeds while keeping a healthy and sustainable pace. We are going to keep that pace, which means we will not hit our April 2019 release. Sorry about that. We could have sacrificed our minds, bodies, and social lives to make April 2019, but that's stupid. Team Meat isn't some studio owned by an evil A-hat corporation that has say over what we do and how we do it.
See, he's a bad guy.
We are fortunate enough to have control over how we work, and we choose not to run ourselves into the ground." End quote. The
We're all
release
gonna
date will be given soon, and it shouldn't be much of a wait beyond April.
Beyond. Oh, sorry. Wrong thing.
Yeah, that was. He didn't say to infinity first.
I mean, obviously, this is a jab towards Electronic Arts,
Well,
2K, you know.
well, to be fair, the bad guy, I believe, is called Evil or Professor A-Hat. So that's probably what they're going towards.
But it was a double entendre. If you
But yes, it probably is jabbing
Double
also to
entendre.
that. But
Probably.
I'm pretty sure it's his name. It's been forever since I played Super Meat Boy, right? But I can't say it shocked me because I feel like I remember also when they were making this, like it's a very small team, and I don't know if they've expanded. Like I think the original was made by 2 dudes. I don't imagine they, all of a sudden have a studio of 50 people, right? So for these kind of guys, when they're making something, that's the bad part of any game sometimes is, they take a long time because they're perfectionists and they don't have a lot of resources, right? You're just making what you make.
I think I should refrain from commenting.
They are really fun games, though. You know what's also fun? Subscribing to things.
delays are bad news, but I like to bring you good news. Possible new subscription plan for Microsoft. Microsoft is rumored to soon be offering a unified package for Xbox users subscribing to both Xbox Live Gold and Xbox Game Pass. The package is reported to cost $14.99 per month and will include all the services included in both subscriptions and all the privileges that currently go with them. Both services cost $9.99 per month. So that will be a significant reduction in cost, if true.
I've tried to avoid to say this as I get mocked, but it's unavoidable this time. This makes sense. I mean, if you're them, it's kind of like Amazon Prime, right? You're trying to roll everything together into one really attractive package, right? That's how you get people. Is you say, look, $5 more, you get all these games, and you get your online service taken care of, as opposed to paying $20 a month.
Yes.
The user wins.
Ween!
Well, speaking of winning,
See? I
it
did that well.
It pleases me to once again announce another win for God of War.
Yeah, Game of the Year.
The winners of the 2019 British Academy Game Awards has been announced. God of War has taken home awards for Best Game, Music, Narrative, ladies and gentlemen, narrative, and more. Other award winners include Return of the Obra Dinn for artistic achievement, no surprise there, and game design. Fortnite won for evolving game.
Evolving.
Yeah, that means it continues to evolve, Chris.
Okay, so it's like they're continuing one.
Secret's Evolution is.
They have to give Fortnite the credit because it is a constant.
It's the biggest, it definitely is the biggest carryover game from last year.
If you have it installed on, say, like your
the year
PlayStation or
before.
Xbox, the icon for the game is constantly changing depending on whatever
That's true.
season they have out now.
But it always says early access. I just wish they'd just take it away.
I don't. I kind of like it. Now it's a thing. I think it needs to stay.
It's a thing.
Two things!
It's a thing.
All right. Hey, one more. Speaking of things,
Oh, God.
here we go. One thing we know about Borderlands 3.
Talk to me.
While we still don't know a ton about Borderlands 3,
Do it.
we have learned something about loot drops.
Preach.
Ooh.
While playing co-op.
Preach.
In Borderlands 3, every player will have their own loot drops
Thank God.
that only they can see. A post on the PlayStation blog revealed. In the past, it was every player for themselves, and F when you played with Chris because he would take everything. You would be able to see all the loot dropped and get what you can before a teammate, Chris, got to it first.
Remember this.
New loot is now player specific. If this doesn't tickle your fancy,
Oh, yeah.
you can change settings to the more traditional looter approach of the original games.
See, I'm still going to steal all your loot.
Borderlands 3 is confirmed for September 13th, and you can bet it will be covered here.
Dang right. These dudes, like, it's amazing to me that, like, they consistently still feel like they have their finger on the pulse of
The post.
of what is called.
Finger to the page.
I guess most people call it what, like a shluter is what it's called. I think is like technically shooter
guess,
looter.
yeah.
Like
Schluter.
that's the
I think at one point, my Richard was named Schluter.
Finger
Right?
to pierce.
Come on, old
Finger to
Schluter. Yeah. Come on, old Schluter. Let's go get us some.
Give my finger to pierce.
Drink your PBR and walk out the door.
Like to see my Schluter?
Would you touch my Schluter? I'd touch my Schluter.
I'd Schluter my Schluter.
I'd touch my Schluter hard.
We are almost 40 years old.
Right?
You speak for yourself,
Right.
Does
bro.
that make us Buffalo Bills age yet? But like they first put out the first Borderlands in 2009. Thank you. But it's like weird because you think of like Anthem, Division, Destiny, right? Warframe, all these games. They still don't seem to understand like what they do, which is that people first and foremost play these things to get tons of loot. Like they don't need a game that consistently goes on forever. They need something where random probability keeps them coming back and that they feel like they could pick up and put down as they want and have a great time. So I'm glad. Everything that sounds like so far is exactly what I think Borderlands fans will want.
Well, speaking of what fans want,
Quick tidbit before you do
Absolutely.
that amazing pivot.
that was good.
Yeah. Friend of the show, Ryan Leaf, has started the pre-sequel.
Yeah, no, he told me.
He said he loves it.
Yes.
I'll leave that.
We played it a little bit.
I don't remember that.
It was me, you, Adam,
I have poor memory
Fate.
when it comes to things we've done.
and then everyone bailed back to Destiny.
I hate it when I pre-sequel.
You know what you need to pre-sequel back to?
What?
That pivot you made.
That was a good pivot.
Yeah.
Speaking of what people want, Mario and Zelda getting VR, and Sean, see, VR is what they call virtual
Yeah.
reality.
In a cardboard box, huh?
Super Mario Odyssey and The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, in case you weren't sure, will be getting free updates that will allow playability with the Nintendo Labo VR. These software updates will arrive on April 25th, which will be a couple of weeks after the launch of Labo VR Kit on April 12th. I said 12. Odyssey will feature a, quote, bite-sized bonus experience, end quote, that will allow players to head back to Cap, Seaside, and Luncheon Kingdoms with Mario and Cappy in 3 new mini-missions.
Ooh.
Breath of the Wild will allow players to experience the full title in VR with the flip of a virtual switch in the options menu. That's fascinating.
Nice.
That is...
Can't wait to see what people say about it.
That's fantastic. And what is that going to mean when Nintendo completely rocks the VR world with a cardboard box? And you're rocking out Zelda in VR with a box on your head,
Fascinating for sure.
isn't it?
It's going to make Labo probably see a percentage uptick in
Dude.
sales for sure.
One brother of Ladero,
Gruff.
yeah, Gruff Ganders. His son got a Labo back at Christmas, and they just now busted open. And his wife was posting on Instagram about it this weekend, basically saying he was having a blast putting that thing
Dude,
together. It was like the backpack one.
I'm devastated. Our local Target, you know how much the Labo
Target?
kits our Target, you know how much the Labo kits are? They're like $59, $69, $79.
yeah.
$20.
Wow.
really?
They had a flash sale on them, sold out.
I bet.
Huh.
I'm so mad. I would have got it.
Yeah.
Shame.
Shame.
Shame. All right. So we got a couple of pieces of news about Division. Some updates first, and then some teases. You know, the good kind.
Oh, I love a good tease.
The first update for Division 2 drop. I was waiting on you, buddy. You didn't do it.
Try that again.
The first update for Division 2 dropped on April 5th, and contains the following.
A whole April 5.
Yeah, it dropped on April 5. 5. Tidal Basin. Players will find new challenges, including a new stronghold that's supported by the Black Tusk faction. Advances to World Tier 5 will unlock higher, more rewarding gear. 2 new exotic weapons will be released with the update. The Pestilence and the Nemesis.
My gun's name is called the Pestilence.
Mine's called
As
the
it should
Nemesis. Along with 3 new gear sets. An Invasion apparel event will be accessible April 5th through 25th, where players will be able to collect enemy faction outfits along with new masks and weapon skins. April 25th, Operation Dark Hours will join the game as the first 8-player raid mode in the entire Division history, and a later update will give players the ability to unlock new specialization. More content will be released in summer and fall of 2019. The summer will be called DC Outskirts Expeditions, where players will fight in the surrounding areas of DC in 2 main missions. This all sounds amazing. The fall update will be called Pentagon, The Last Castle. That needs to be a book and a movie and something else, because that is an amazing name for something. Where players will fight their way into the Pentagon in additional missions to uncover secret, hidden, iconic American locations.
Sean,
Yeah,
you want to get on Division 2 tonight?
I kind of do. After you tease me a little bit.
Woo! Well, I got to tease you with this. Go up.
Oh.
That's funny.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Take it out. And
Not
check
there. Soft.
Division 2 teases new Assassin's Creed game. Posters found in the world of Division 2 hint at the existence of the new Assassin's Creed game, and it may take place around the time of the Vikings. The poster can be found in the Potomac Event Center. The image appears to be... sure.
Potomac.
No, it's Potomac.
The image appears to be a Norse god or Viking with the sword Valhalla written above, holding a staff and an odd orb. This orb looks very similar to the classic, quote, Apple of Eden, end quote, featured in numerous AC games. I don't know why I had to quote that. Kotaku confirmed from unnamed sources that the new Assassin's Creed game would take place in a Viking setting with a 2020 release date. Kratos has not been confirmed to appear. Kotaku is always...
Yeah, they always get
They're
those.
obsessed with finding out what the
They
next
must
Assassin's
just know
Creed
some
game
random guy who's like, yeah, they just sent me this picture. It's like, well, just tell us what it is. And he has no idea what he's holding on to.
Yeah.
He's like just a guy who does graphic art. It's like, looks like there's some Viking ships out here and stuff.
I should probably play some of the new Assassin's Creed games, huh?
They're fun.
Yes.
Are they phenomenal?
Yes. Odyssey was the game of the year.
Dude,
It's my game of the year 2019.
the fans on I was gonna say on Hearthstone. What's the place they go to? Discord? The fans on Discord, they love telling me I still haven't opened Horizon Zero Dawn.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's still in its shiny newness.
It's still so terrible.
Just take off the wrapper.
I don't know if I
Come on, raw dog it.
just raw dog it. Gizmodo sold again. Univision has sold Gizmodo Media Group, formerly known as Gawker Media, to a private equity firm known as Great Hill Partners. The plan for the new owner is for using the network for, quote, targeting marketers who are seeking brand safe content, end quote. Gizmodo includes sites such as Deadspin, Jezebel, and Kotaku, and will be renamed G/O Media Inc. by the new owners. The plan is to increase the group's profits by, quote, automated or pragmatic advertising sales, targeting marketers who are seeking brand safe content and high quality audiences that are difficult to find elsewhere.
PR.
Boo. Many have reacted to this sale as a dark day in journalism, claiming that it could lead to mass layoff. Mirroring Vice, BuzzFeed, and HuffPost. We'll see.
Sad.
That's a lot of struggles.
It reminds me of back when my favorite website for a long time was Joystick, and it just kept getting absorbed and absorbed and absorbed until finally somebody somewhere just crossed it off a line item.
Yeah.
And it just went away.
I'd be amazed if Kotaku got a lot of layoffs, because that, to me, from what I gather, is a very profitable site, because everyone works. It's kind of like how Polygon is, like where very few people are actually in a central office. It's a lot of people working from home. And, but on the other hand, I'm sure if there is quote unquote fat to trim, from their perspective of like, well, this really isn't something we care about. Let's just focus on this.
I said pragmatic.
This could be a completely anecdotal perspective.
Yeah.
But I bounced around different articles from different sources looking at this information. Whenever a game article was featured, which IGN hasn't covered this, I don't think. Polygon hasn't covered it. I don't even think Kotaku has commented on it that I saw. I could be wrong on all three of those things. But whenever a video game article was posted about it, they always mentioned Kotaku as part of Gizmodo.
Yeah.
When you looked at other articles that had nothing to do with video games, it always mentioned Jezebel. It always mentioned Deadspin.
Sure.
And it mentioned The Root and all these other different ones. It never mentioned Kotaku.
Yeah.
So I would wonder if Kotaku would be one of the first things on the chopping block if something like that came to pass. So that's only because of my observations through how people prioritize the coverage. But
well, I would think the thing that they prioritize is, right, how much advertising are you bringing in and how many clicks do you get? So
yeah, sure.
I would have to look up Kotaku. But like I said, I want to say behind IGN, they're the number 2 gaming website in terms of traffic.
I would say GameSpot is.
Yeah, no. Like, I almost feel like I've read this somewhere before because, as we said, like they're the ones who break a lot of news, right?
Well, Schreier breaks the news. Let's be honest. Schreier's the guy. If this thing tanked, Totillo would have a job and Schreier would have a job for sure.
I'm wondering. But finally,
I think people gravitate towards users review scores still. Kotaku is one of those sites like Polygon who doesn't, give a score because they want you to read their words.
Well, here we go. This is a 29. Okay, so yeah, they're 4th on the list. Okay, yeah, so games. Wow, we did not know that.
GameFAQs.
I don't think.
Yeah, but GameFAQs is not. I mean, it's a video game website, but not. I don't think is GameFAQs a news site.
I'm trying to figure out. Wait,
I always think of it as a blog.
We could just go to it and look at it.
I don't want to.
Okay,
I'm trying to figure out like how this actually works. Oh, okay, so this is the number of views. Okay, so yeah 10 million unique views. I would be, I don't know. I guess it's always possible. And like I said, if there are certain things that get cut out, it's probably going to be stuff that doesn't get a lot of traffic, right?
Sure.
Which is sad. But you know what doesn't get a lot of traffic and is also finally this week?
No.
Finally this week.
Bust.
Not even near the mic. Everyone's like, what's that whimper? Finally this week.
All right. Is that me or you?
You.
Go
sure?
for it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
GameStop struggles. And this is just in full disclosure, this is taken directly from the article. So this was Fortune. This is Fortune.
Take that,
It
guy
says
from
Fortune.
IGN.
Does it? I'm sorry, it does.
If you just read what you did right there,
I'm trying to ad lib a little bit.
I wouldn't do that. Just say you got it from there.
You're not capable of doing that. That's why you wouldn't do it.
I love all the time.
Hostile.
Like I'm doing right now. Do you want to fight?
GameStop, no. GameStop, once the most dominant player in the video game industry, may be on the verge of defeat. In the face of disappointing recent earnings, some investors wonder whether the retailer is crashing like a Super Mario Kart, which is such
you would never.
awful. I would never write that.
Yeah, that's terrible.
I would never write that.
First of all, who crashes Mario Karts? Let's be honest.
Chris.
We're
Last
champions.
week, GameStop said its fourth quarter sales fell 7.6% to $3.1 billion compared to the same period a year earlier. The company revenue from accessories, including controllers and headsets, grew 18%, but sales on pre-owned video games and hardware fell 21.3%. Meanwhile, GameStop's quarterly loss widened to $187 million from $105 million.
Yeah, I think they said like they reported a $671 million total loss, in part because they sold off the one company.
Yeah,
right.
which was which they got $700 million.
But are they?
Yeah, but it was like the big thing that's concerning, and this is why I think we're starting to see a change. I don't know how long it will take, but definitely you feel like there's this dam for all these brick and mortar, specialty stores that are sorted towards games, and that dam is being held up by GameStop, and you wonder if that ever goes, then you kind of just go, well, if they can fall apart, what's going to hold up everyone else, right? And when you see the other things, that those can fluctuate from season to season. Sure, I'm sure whenever there's new consoles out in 2 years, that because of that, you'll probably see a really good holiday when the first year that you have these new consoles hit $300. But the thing that is most concerning for them is that what has been their bread and butter, making them money that they don't have to pay to a another company, is pre-owned video games and hardware, which is, as John said, it's down 21% this year, and it's dropped, I think they've said, the last 3 years in a row, and the rate it's dropping is going up, and it probably, I would think, mostly speaks to the fact that, again, when you give a lot of people the option just to buy things digitally, that the convenience of just being able to say, I don't have to go stand in a line and pick up something. I hit a button and it's there.
Maybe
I hear you there.
I think you're starting to see that effect.
Look, the train's not stopping.
Sure,
everybody understands that. However, and everybody has their GameStop horror story. You have one, I have one. All God's children have a horror story for GameStop. But
what about those that are not God's children?
Particularly since we have started this podcast.
Yeah,
the three of us and much of our friends of the show who live in this town have developed a relationship and a camaraderie with the local stores in this community. I mean, we go in there and they know us, and there's something about going to a store that is passionate about the hobby that you're passionate about.
Yeah.
I mean, we are giving away, and we know it's happening regardless. I'm not, but we're giving away that sense of camaraderie about those people who show up on a night of release to pick up Spider-Man.
Correct.
You will never see that again, and that has to be at least mentioned and missed. It's got to be.
Yeah.
And it's being replaced by economic convenience. And
well,
that's how it should.
Then
work.
the camaraderie part too, I think, is it's evolving, right? It's like, for instance, to not to toot our own horn, it's something like our Discord community or people, the fact that like now you can just have these huge social online games where people get together and they can group up and slowly increase their personal friends because you find someone else who has a similar interest to you and wants to play this game as much as you do.
Yeah.
Like all those things, that's what's filling that gap. It hasn't gone away. It's just it's transformed. But yes, you're right. Like that whole entire thing. It's amazing to think like 10 years ago was when Modern Warfare 2 was coming out. And I remember going, Sean, I'm sure you do too, going to the midnight release for that game. And
I didn't go.
Oh. Sean, I thought you were a fan of the series, but, true fans like myself, I remember where REB Games, which is of the two that are over in our mall area, strip mall area, it's the least, the less traffic goes there. You would agree, right? Both of you? Yeah. The line was pretty much down the block still. There was 150 people waiting to pick up that game the night of release. On the best nights now, no matter what it is, there might be, at the bigger GameStop, maybe 50 people. It's just...
You don't remember Spider-Man?
That might be the one that I've seen. But what I'm saying is it's happening less and less. You don't see as much of a crowd coming out to it. There's still, very much a hardcore that do it regularly, especially if they have a game they're interested in. But I think more and more people are just, honestly, they're going to online, and that's just the wave of the future, as they say, or wave of the future.
Yeah, for sure. I think there's a lot going on with why the company may be having losses. Something has to be said with the quality of the pre-owned games and hardware. People just started finding out that the pre-owned games sucked. Like some of them were missing books and content.
Yeah.
Some of the especially as we went to disc, they weren't how like you or I would like our disc. Ooh, I was close. Our discs to be. The hardware. If you go to YouTube now, there's tons of channels who make their views by showing things they bought used from GameStop and how much of trash it is. Like they open up Xbox 360s and say how this one would be on the Red Ring of Death on like the next time you turn it on. Yeah. How nothing's really refurbished. Everything's bootleg.
Are you trying to say that when people trade in used equipment, they're not honest to how?
Right. And I was thinking about why the pre-owned. Another reason the video game sales went down from a pre-owned standpoint is a lot of people started playing games like Call of Duty, and Destiny, and no one wanted to buy a used version of that once they traded it in. They were done with it. Those kinds of games, but I agree with John, man. Something's got to be said, and I know Chris agreed too that you won't be able to replace that if it goes away. We've said that before as we talked about GameStop. It's just fun to go to a thing that you like and other people like it too.
Yeah.
Whether it's your city's football team or basketball team, or in our case, 3 nerds going to a video game store. It's cool to see other nerds who like video games and get excited about a thing.
That sounds like the beginning of a joke.
But
3 nerds go to a video game store.
I mean, the honest part for me in my whole entire adult life, I feel like it's just a continuing story, right? Mm-hmm. Remember how going to midnight premieres for movies?
Yeah.
Used to be you had to go for things like Lord of the Rings or
the
whatever.
Harry Potter movie
when
or
Star
whatever.
Wars prequels were coming out. Yeah, Harry Potter's. You had to go early to get your ticket. You had to be there. If the movie was at midnight, you better be there by 11 p.m. to stand in line with everyone because you want a good seat. And that's gone. I remember back when we had like Tower Records and all that. Back when you used to have midnight releases for CDs.
You remember Tower Records too?
Oh yeah.
Do we have one here?
I don't know if it was here.
I'm just kidding.
But going and picking up those kinds of things at midnight, and you think no one even buys CDs anymore, right? They just buy everything digitally. And even like Harry Potter books, right? When's the last time people really stood in line at midnight hardcore for book series? I don't know.
It was Harry Potter and that was it.
Yeah, because a lot of people now, though, they just get the Kindle version, right? And it's just like,
But there was that thing that the local Barnes and Noble or your local bookstore would do when that Harry Potter book could officially be sold. And that may have been the last time we see anything like that. Who knows? I don't know.
Yeah.
Hopefully that's not the last time we get a book released like that. Hopefully that's our days of the last time we walk into GameStop are far away. But only the future knows, man. I don't know anything else right now. I'm ready to go on to the emails.
You want to wrap this up?
And Twitters. Never.
Electronic mail of the future.
I'm here in spirit.
You're not. You're zoned into that device Prince Harry told us about.
Nope.
You're probably playing the Fortnite.
Your phone should be banned, John.
Let me go down. Where the heck was it? I think it's this one. When did we record last week? Yeah, it has to be that one because it was before we recorded. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Plus,
if you want to write
make them all in red, Chris.
Yes.
So
I was like, did I forget to?
It's good.
If you want to write your thoughts and opinions in, you can do so by writing weeklygameschat@gmail.com. Make sure you write to weeklygameschat@gmail.com if you want to hear your comment read live on the air during episode 200's Twitch stream of episode 200, just like Richard did.
Hey,
he won't get read live on Twitch though.
Because we're doing it right now.
Yeah.
Unless you write in again, Richard.
Do it live.
We'll see.
He's got times, right?
Yeah.
But he says, hey, guys.
Hey, Richard.
Thanks for reading out my last email. My punctuation was terrible.
It's all good, bro.
Multiple spaces, comma, more multiple spaces.
I think he did that on purpose.
Yes, I'm going to guess so. I shall do my best to make this one just as bad. Laugh out loud. The Discord was a... Thank you, John.
We're sorry he did that.
The Discord was a stroke of genius, by the way, and gives me something productive to do while I'm at work. Wink. or winking, nodding, smiley, doing double rock horns. So I love gaming, and last year I had to go at trying to introduce my wife,
Your wife,
to the awesome world of video games. As it's fun, and both of our kids are gamers too. She's a 90s gal, and I thought that Gone Home would be right up her alley and possibly an easy entry into the scene. She liked it, and we had some success, but she never finished it. So it didn't hook. Now, I don't know if she speaks for all wives. But if there was a La La Land game, I'm so definitely sure she would be all over that. I find it puzzling that there are no big or small game releases that are for our partners. Surely it would be incredibly easy and profitable for a big developer to take a punt on the game model that our wives and girlfriends would be engaged in. Using a model like that for Division or Destiny loot and shoot or schlooters, but no shooting or loot that wives and girlfriends like instead of armor, actually keep capes. Okay. Actually put that out to a ladies focus group. I'm just a Richard. But I'm pretty sure my wife,
his wife,
would wear a cape in that game. Hey, now imagine a La La Land campaign.
Jeez, stop this.
It has a 4-player co-op mode too, and raids. For wives doing a 6-hour raid to win a Ryan Gosling.
I love how you spell Gosling.
Yeah, right. Or maybe that yellow dress as raid gear. When John Legend
with
John Legend as a raid boss. I did this with 2014 Godzilla movie on our Discord too, and as with Godzilla, it's all there in La La Land movie. Easy. So why is no one doing it? Can you guys think of any games that the wives? Yeah, thanks, guys. Would get locked in on, or just an amusing speculative La La Land game? Laugh out loud. Game on.
I don't know, man, because in general, I can't say that girls aren't gamers or wives aren't gamers, because I know a lot that are, and I assume that there are more than even I know about in the world.
Actually, the big thing I've learned is that a lot of women who do not buy, say, consoles to get games, they all have like some mobile game that they just consistently play.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's true. I think it's true for most of the general public.
And as John doesn't think mobile games are games.
But that said,
when have I ever said that?
I would think La La Land, the game, is Just Dance.
2019.
Yeah, we could just have Just Dance jazz.
Wait, La La Land is
Gosling
jazz?
Well, in part, yes.
Boo.
That's what Ryan Gosling's guy is. He's a jazz guy.
Jazz fingers.
If they're going to do like a real, I don't know. I don't know how you could make La La Land the game. It would definitely be interesting to have a game with the music of La La Land and the dream sequences. But as far as what the gameplay is, I don't know. That would be really hard.
In general, if you take a theme that I think what he's trying to say is more like from a feminine approach to incorporate it into a game that's more masculine.
Pokemon?
I don't know. I mean, what works? I think girl gamers like all the things if they like games. I don't think we need to do that.
Yeah.
And I think in general that's true, and I don't think Richard should be assuming.
Yeah, because you know what that does? It makes an A out of some dude named Umi.
That's right.
Right? But thanks for the email, Richard. And good luck. Maybe buy her like a mini Super Nintendo console with all the games preloaded on it.
That'd be cool.
And see if she
That's a
likes
good
something
idea,
like that.
actually.
Yeah.
It's 90s stuff, you know?
Matt Rodan says, you don't know what to give us that's worth money? You give us a podcast weekly and you do not have ads. That's all I need.
Good point, sir. Good point.
Why don't you just have a PayPal address for donations? Funny enough, we do. If you go to
when did this happen?
It's on our Twitch page.
He's been pocketing money for decades, hasn't he?
Yep.
It's in there.
$199,
if you want to go to our Twitch page, twitch.tv/weeklygameschat, you can... There's a button in the panels at the bottom you can click on, or you could just do it during the stream. And that will allow you to, if you don't want to actually subscribe to the channel, or it's just easier to do it that way, you can subscribe, or you could just send whatever donation you want. You do not feel like you have to do that. It's totally up to you. We appreciate everything you get, but just know that your money is basically going into a vault that one day I will share the.
Well, maybe you should continue to read the email because
Right.
you wouldn't have said all of that.
But anyways, he says, I understand you guys need to spend lots of dough on games weekly, and you're doing it for my and others' benefits. I don't like giving money through a third party that takes a cut. You don't need to beg. Just open a door for those that enjoy your content and want to support you. You guys are great. I'm not sure you truly realize how much of us appreciate your work. You took risks and invested money and time into creating this content every week. I respect what it took to get here. How you handled the recent controversy made me respect you guys even more. Keep it up, guys.
Well, go on there and rate us.
Right? Every
that
time
4.5 up to a
Yeah, right.
4.52.
every time your new podcast drops, I immediately listen to
Thank
it
you,
before
sir.
anything else, Matt. But yeah, again,
Thank you, Matt.
Thanks,
very
Matt.
much.
if you are really inclined to donate anyone, just go to the Twitch page. There is a button that literally says tips. If you click it, it will take you to the donation page, okay? Or else subscribe to the channel. Either one. Doesn't matter.
We only accept 20s and above.
And by 20s, we mean,
We unlike
about the
candidates
Benjis.
running for president, we do not care if your donation is large scale. We will gladly take your large scale donation.
Yeah.
what is happening on this next email, Chris?
Oh.
I see my name.
Should I? Okay. Next up, Jesse writes in, says, "Shaun, I owe you an apology."
I don't even know what for.
She says, "Thank goodness my first email didn't get read on air during this week's episode."
Where's the other email?
I have
Go
no
find
idea. I would like to apologize to Shaun for giving him some crap about how Kentucky would beat Auburn in the SEC championship. The game on Sunday was a great matchup, or I'm guessing in the Elite Eight. The game on Sunday was a great matchup, and sadly, Kentucky lost.
Yeah, that was sad because I hate Auburn. I would not have been mad if Kentucky had won, by the way.
Although Kentucky is out of the tournament, at least there's an SEC
No,
team.
don't- I
Not
don't-
anymore.
I
I'm
don't
sorry.
even- I don't believe in that mantra either.
I like how, though, she says, "Game on, fellows, not your wife." Jesse.
Thank you so much for the email. And again, no need to apologize. I don't care that Auburn or lost or Kentucky because roll tide.
This is the best thing. So Thomas wrote in and said, "Sup, fellers?
What's up,
up?
Thomas?
Tej here again."
Hey, that's me.
No, that's me right there.
Is that you?
Yeah,
That
it's
is-
literally me.
yeah.
That's you.
Like,
Okay.
see, hey, Shaun, turn your head. Right there.
Oh yeah.
But
Oh yeah.
heard y'all talking about the face reveal on the recent show and heard the hesitancy.
I'm not hesitant, Chris. is.
Hesitancy.
I'll show my face anywhere.
I figured I could help you out as I have some really hugely highly sophisticated CGI face rendering software that could be put together your likeness without having to actually reveal your faces. Here's what my software came up with. So, Chris,
Spot on.
there is a picture of what may or may not be my face with a microphone in front of it, but then somehow there's a little
Nose and
hand-drawn
mouth.
nose and mouth
Yeah,
right there.
I like it.
Apparently, my nose is white, and my mouth is red. Shaun is a
Yeah.
dog
A
named
Muttley.
Utley.
Yeah, that's accurate.
John is a picture of Alex Jones screaming "Unions
That
bad."
is the greatest thing I have ever seen.
Do not lump me in with Alex Jones.
Yeah, but it's still
Don't
perfect.
ever do
my
that.
It's
God.
just perfect. Feel free to use these photos as you see fit. Hope they gave you a laugh. On a side note, you may want to remind anyone using their Amazon Twitch account to subscribe to you on Twitch will need to resub every month as it doesn't follow over every time.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Also, don't need to read this email on the show. Just want to give you
too late, sir.
Now you
Have a
tell
good
us.
one.
Now you don't put that at the bottom,
Yeah,
Teach.
put that at the top.
Oh my God.
But yes, for those who are out there, and I think that's actually true for anyone you subscribe. I could be wrong, but I think if you want to subscribe, you basically at the beginning of the month you have to consistently re-up. It's up to you. Again, no pressure from us.
John,
Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks, John.
what are you doing?
Something private.
Next up, Aaron wrote in, and he said, "Hey, Aaron here. I was wondering which game I should choose, Sekiro or Division 2.
Division 2.
Division 2.
Whoop. He said, I like Dark Souls in the first division, so I'm torn. Thanks, guys. I guess it just comes down to what of those two genres you enjoy more. I
Well,
think we
make a
both-
decision, man.
Yeah,
He's
we-
asking for your opinion. Do it.
I would tell him Sekiro, but that's just me.
Over Division 2?
Yes, I gave that game a 9.5.
I understand that, but you understand Division. I don't get that.
If he loves Dark Souls, if he's a true Dark Souls guy, then yeah, definitely that. But if you are more about the shooters and the looters, and the saluters.
Aaron, have you heard of a game called Yoshi's Crafted World?
It's my game of the year so far, let's be honest. Just saying.
Oh, I thought you were going to hold some.
I think we're going to get more.
Yeah,
If
it's
not,
too late. Yeah. I just kept clicking.
let's do it.
Finally, here we got Gavin who wrote in. He titled this podcast.
He wrote in, John. He wrote in.
He wrote in. He titled this podcaster's opinion Sekiro. He says, "Hey, what's up, guys?
What's up?
Hey, what's up, man?
Gavin here from Denham Springs, Louisiana. Coming straight out your mom's box."
Ooh.
Why did my voice change when I realized he was from Louisiana? Love the show. Thanks for doing what y'all do. A listener wrote in a couple weeks ago discussing audio dramas and books. I read a lot of novels, but I have not been able to get into audiobooks. I think it has to do with loving the way my own imagination builds the world, characters, personalities, etc. But there is an awesome drama story podcast called Wolverine: The Long Night by Marvel. That's cool. It's really good. And there's another one coming out called The Lost Trail. Also, I've been playing Sekiro, and I have been having fun. My experience with From Software games is limited. Played Dark Souls 1 and hated it, put it down pretty quickly. Loved Bloodborne, but got stuck on the triple boss guy in the Forbidden Woods. Yeah, he's a pain. And put it down. Never calling in help from other players is what I think he meant to say. So in Sekiro, have y'all noticed that the intervals between boss fights is very short? I beat the horse boss in 2 short areas approximately 10 enemies later, and another boss. I beat the drunk effer and literally 2 doors, and some stairs and another boss. I'm liking this game, but if it doesn't change and give me more environment to play in and enemies that I can slaughter between bosses, I may put it down. And yes, I'm exploring as much as possible. Am I the only one that feels this way, or is this normal? In the Souls series, Bloodborne didn't feel that way to me. Thanks again. Y'all are great. Gavin.
Thanks, Gavin. Sekiro, I do feel like I was getting to fights that were pretty hard fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's intentional.
Yeah, I think
it is.
I think the while it is intentional, I'm kind of with them on the. Well, I don't knock the game too much for it, but I do have a frustration with constantly being bombarded with mini boss fights.
Yeah.
It can get a little bit too discouraging, where it's very fun to explore the world and use stealth and take down enemies that way, and just I would have liked a little bit more of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
I've had
it does open up a little bit as you go.
I will say, I think by design there are a lot more mini bosses in this game than the other ones. There's only, from what I've read, as far as main boss fights, right? What they describe as main
If
bosses.
7 Spears is a mini boss, I'm in serious
Yeah, he's
trouble.
he's a mini boss.
I know he is. I'm just saying.
Because you could sneak around and knife him in the back. But like main boss fights, there's like 12. And from my understanding, the big reason why there are a lot of them is because pretty much, especially all the mini bosses, give you a prayer bead, which is how you increase your vitality over time. So it's kind of like, hey, yeah, these are challenging and they're all a little bit unique, but you're gonna get a benefit so that when you go face the big MFers in this game, you will be prepared and have enough stats to take them on and survive their hits.
Sweet.
So,
It'll give the boss the chance to take down all of your vitality,
right,
and all of your life meter,
not if you
and all of your resurrections.
Not if you get good.
Yeah.
I don't even think that matters. I don't even think getting good matters.
This game
I find a way.
The game's rigged. It's rigged.
It's totally.
I mean,
rigged.
like, there's some now that there's this one that I fought the other day that was like a little mini boss, and even though you can't get the drop on him, you quickly realize, oh, all I have to do is just perfectly deflect his stuff. Because he tires out real quickly in terms of posture.
I watched a later game boss on YouTube. Ain't no way,
dude.
There's no way I can do it.
Which one?
We don't know. It doesn't matter.
It's let's say you're back where you started.
Oh, okay, him.
In that same area where you met Genichiro.
Gotcha.
And there's no way I'm going to do this. There's no way.
Find a way.
I don't want. I'm not a quitter.
I'm not either. I'm not going to trade it in. I'm going to keep going.
No. But I'm saying I'm not a quitter. But I know that this doesn't interest me enough to even care.
Yeah.
It interests me. That's the problem.
No, maybe I didn't say that.
It's an
right.
obsession that I don't like having.
Maybe,
it's just.
I don't know how to say what I'm saying, John. It's just
my
that
wife.
Your wife.
Saturday said, "Honey, don't get mad." I'm like, okay. I've been noticing that you've been really
angry.
No. Stop finishing my sentences. Only she finishes my sentences.
Yes, she does.
Sentences.
I've been noticing you've really been playing you've been spending a lot of time playing games. And I looked at her and I said, "You've been spending a lot of time reading." I didn't say that.
That'd be fun.
But this game, while I should have been playing Yoshi, but I couldn't stop playing this game. It's got me obsessing over it, and I don't like it. I like the game. I just don't like. It's turned me into something I don't like.
You're like Frodo when you carried the ring for too long.
Exactly.
You need to put down the ring.
My precious.
That's not Frodo.
Hey, John.
My voice is changing.
Just remember this.
Yeah.
Life finds a way.
Yeah, it does.
So there you go. You can do it, buddy. You can't. You're gonna. Just
You
trade
can't.
that.
I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it.
to do it anymore.
I
I don't want to do it.
Sean, people write us on Twitter. What do they say?
Yeah, they do. In response to the weekly games chat, weekly games chat tweet about last week's episode, our friend Hell Teacher Loki says, "Haven't listened yet, but I wish Chris pronounced say that word, Chris." Japan? Say it like
Japan.
more times than I died in this
Sorry,
game.
the way I was reading it, it said like Japan.
You're like, wait a minute. I'm trying to see if there's any more that we really need to point out.
Wow.
No, we had a lot of likes and follows and retweets, but
Well, that's nice.
those are very nice, and I'm going to say that in a minute. We had people retweeting our Discord information. That's fantastic. Mm-hmm. Thank you guys for that. Shout out to at Max. Let me make sure I say his name. Max About Games. I've written about my favorite gaming podcast starring at Weekly Games Chat and hashtag Kotaku Split Screen hosted by at Jason Schreier and at Mitty Myers. Thank you guys for doing all this. You all are great and make my day constantly. So thank you so much for that. We have liked your quote. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We got some follows that I will get to. Of course, I think I had a direct message. Let's see. Oh, okay. Did I say this last week? I don't know if I did. This is a direct message from Dats Riley. That was the same person that mentioned the DC stuff. Because John was like, "What's DC?" It's funny. Hey guys, I have a couple of questions for the show. Don't think too hard about these because honestly, they're tough questions. But off the top of your head, who's your favorite band?
Dang.
That's a good one, right? It depends on my genre. I'm going to say this, and then it's going to be captured forever. But I come from a time where I began to like, and now I still love. Do I say it, Chris?
Say it.
Limp Bizkit. I
Love that, Dave Matthews.
Love Limp Bizkit. My favorite band that is in the vein of the Dave Matthews genre is not Dave Matthews.
Oh,
it's the Head and the Heart.
Take that again, Dave Matthews.
Yeah. I love Daft Punk. I love EDM.
He says your favorite band, Sean. He
didn't say everything, so I'll shut up there. You go now, Chris.
Yeah, this is almost impossible for me because anyone knows I'm very eclectic and listen to a lot of stuff. But I always, when people like say pick one thing no matter what, I always default to this because it's a band I've been listening to my whole life and I just love their music, and that would be the Beach Boys, which I think is the greatest American band.
John, do you have a favorite band?
I'll put it to you this way. Mm-hmm. This is how you remind me what
I like it. I like what you did there.
We always know you're in Nickelback.
No. My Chicago.
Okay. Saturday in the Park, huh?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
All right. Also, second question: what's the meaning of life?
42.
Pie. Thanks for making
Jesus is the way.
Thanks for making a kick butt podcast and keep on rocking in the free world. Yes, sir.
That's a Neil Young reference.
Thank you, sir. From at Crypto Weston. Hey guys, I'm a big fan and long time listener, first time of the show. Just finished the Sekiro episode. Thank you so much for listening, sir. I was wanting to reach out to see if you would be interested in paid advertisement.
Oh, dang. Yeah, I don't know about that.
Maybe.
Thanks for putting that.
But I wanted you to know I read your thing, and I apparently just read it right now.
Did it catch you off guard?
Yeah.
Possibly.
You should have read it in advance.
Yeah, but it was live, and I was excited, and that's what happens. If you join in,
Do it live.
If you join in next week when we're recording episode 200 live, there may be more of that kind of stuff, huh?
The one emailer is going to be pissed off when we have ads next week everywhere.
Are we going to have ads?
Apparently,
Twitch will do the ad things. We won't. That won't be because of us. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I think that's it for me on the Twitter. Let me make sure we don't have any new followers, which I know we do. And then Chris is going to tell you all kind of deets. At Zvergara13, your account is locked. I'm going to follow you, and it's pending, but thank you for following. At Nick Van Putnam.
Nick Van Putnam.
He's got music you can download, so if you want to go see Nick's Twitter account, go check that out.
It's his latest Jimmy on the harpsichord.
No, he looked
I
like he's
give him the
rocking.
old
Let me look at that profile pic real quick. What is
Went
that?
down to the
What is that,
drugstore
Chris?
and got himself a phosphate.
Oh, that's a skateboard.
Phosphate.
That's a skateboard. I thought that was
That
like a
is a
bass. I thought that
skateboard.
was a bass guitar. Sorry,
Ah.
it's a skateboard. Thanks, Nick, so much for the follow. Followed you back.
1963.
Again, if you want to find us on Twitter, it's easy. We're at Weekly Games Chat. Give us a follow,
Geritol?
and we'll go from there. But Chris is going to now tell you guys more information about episode 200 and other things. So listen.
So once again, this has been episode Weekly Games Chat, episode 199. If you like the show, subscribe to us on iTunes or whatever podcast service you prefer, and you will get a new episode just like this one, and including episode 200, every Wednesday for your pleasure. But for one time only. If you want to see, or not see, sorry, no.
Maybe?
No.
No.
If you want to hear us as we record this live and be able to even comment right there where we will see it on the screen and shout you back, maybe if we laugh.
Shout you back, maybe, Chris?
I don't know.
Boo.
Boo you. Then you should tune in this Saturday, April 13th at 3 p.m. twitch.tv/Weekly Games Chat, and you will hear us as we record episode 3. I'm sorry. Yeah, we'll just go and say we're at 300. Why not? Give ourselves a number.
We make the rules.
200 right before your eyes. You'll see by way of a picture as we record this thing. And I hope everyone enjoys that, because I know it's something people have asked for at the point.
They also asked for Discord. How do they find us?
They can find us on Discord by clicking the link that's not on the Twitter page anymore. But actually it is there. But you'll have to scroll down a little bit now because
That's
I just
terrible.
replaced it.
Why'd you do that?
But that said, I will put a link to the Discord in the episode description for this.
That's a good idea.
So
Because you did unpin that one to put the new pin up for the thing. We're just pinning fools, man.
It'll be back up after this. But make sure either way, you could go to Weekly Game or go to Discord and just search for Weekly Games Chat, and it should have a link there, and you can ask to be joined to the server, and you will be on the server shortly after, unless you do terrible things. I don't know. But besides that, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and of course, if you want to see our regular streams, we always stream regularly on Monday night, twitch.tv Weekly Games Chat. You can see us on there, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Even though we didn't play anything together last night, we were all in there. There was all sorts of awkwardness. Josh showed up again.
Showed up again.
Yeah, I think Shaun hates that, but we just can't prevent it from happening.
It's not that I hate it, because I do love. Whoa.
Oh, that's wrong.
That's hilarious. I want to find a way to where even when you're streaming here, our video can at least come through. I'm obsessed with my face being on Twitch.
We got to get the partner level.
I'm obsessed.
You can just have your own channel.
Yeah, but how do I link that to what you're doing? Still got to be on partner level. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just
sorry.
saying. It's all good.
But anyways, until next time, I will simply, which is this Saturday at 3 p.m., because you're all going to watch the Twitch stream. I'm going to be really ticked off if I get in there and it's like, you
know
have
what?
one viewer.
If it's one, we're going to rock the house for that one viewer.
That person's like going
We're
to get...
bringing the show of
his
the decade.
Richard is going to get sucked so...
Shut it down. It's time to go.
In the show, Chris.
Game on, Sean.
Game on, Chris.
Game on, John.
Game on, Chrissy Poo. Game on, Shiny Wani.
I just
Game on,
realized
Johnny Bear.
I've said game on 199 times.
Probably more than that in your life, but
Right?
at least on record.
Yeah, I mean, like at the end of every episode, right?
Yeah.
Because that's from the very first episode.
Yeah.
Head bop. Your mom's box.
Peace out, everybody.
Bug life.